episode 112 of Legends of Grayskull podcast, the fan podcast where we discuss the history, the mystery, the magic, and mythology of He-Man, She-Ra, Eternia, Etheria, Nordor, Primus, new adventures, old adventures, Ladybird, UKNO's comics, mini comics, anything and everything you can think of with that He-Man, She-Ra, Master of the Universe, Princess of Power! That Mattel logo down in the corner. Shut up, Curtis. Welcome, everybody. We got Matthew Dooch back again. I got Shawn Scavarna up in the corner there. And back by popular demand, because since it's the Christmas season, we got Curtis Akerman with us tonight. We got a huge show planned for you guys. We're reviewing the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special. We've got fan casting of the Christmas story. We got all sorts of stuff for you guys. We got presents to give away too. If you guys were here last year, we're going to give away some secret Santa presents to you guys in the chat. So make sure you stay tuned through the whole thing. Boys, how we doing tonight?
Doing fantastic.
Wonderful.
We're very amused, I think.
You made my night.
It's been a good one already.
Just so everybody knows in the chat, we've already addressed you. We've already made comments, but we weren't live. So we're not going to talk to you again because we've already done it.
Oh, of course we are. We got Scott Baker. We got Wholesome Warlock. We got Cowabunga Dude. We got Joe Gonzalez. We got Manny Gonzalez. No relation. And we got Andrew H.M. All the way from Wales. Merry Christmas, Andrew.
Merry Christmas.
So, boys, I know we're coming up to the Christmas season here, but did you guys get any toys, anything pickups this week? What we got? Shawn, you're in the upper corner. Let's start with you.
All right. Well, I have been slowly but surely working on getting a few things back that I didn't want to part with. One of which was this bad boy.
Oh, nice.
I got me a Skellcon recently. And then, Skellcon. And nice. I managed to find these two for an amazing price.
Ooh, very nice.
2-pack for under $100. It blew my mind when I found it. Wow. So I had to get that.
Complete weapons and everything?
Yeah, complete with everything. Wow. I'm just showing off the figures real quick.
Shawn has... It hurts his brain if he has a figure that's not complete.
It does. And this guy actually was mine, and I got him back from the guy that I sold him to. So it was kind of like okay, I got some money from you. Now I take my thing.
A little dark alley action. You just
very nice.
Dark alley.
And did you get it back for the same price, or has he grown in value?
Basically, I had credit with the guy. That was $30 and he wanted them for $40, so I only paid $10 to get them back. So,
oh wow.
Not too bad. It was almost like on consignment, so I really can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my recent stuff.
Nice.
Beautimous.
And I got the shipping notice for Mondo on Deluxe Skeletor, by the way. So there's that.
Oh, did you? Very nice.
He's shipping out.
Beautimous.
Curtis, what you got? You got any pickups? You always have.
I do. First, I got Thistlethorn to add to my been looking for one and finally was able to acquire one through a Mr. Travis Bowles. And he's actually a lot cooler in person than what I realized, because he's got like kind of mud spots on his boots and stuff, and then he's got like the way that his face looks. Let me see if I can get that to. Yeah, he's like some different colors on his face to where he almost looks like he's camouflaged, like intentionally, like like guerrilla warfare or something. I don't know.
And he comes with the best version of the Sword Horseman. So
yes, and then my daughter and my wife went to Ross and got one of the twins for G.I. Joe for $5. And then I went on Amazon and got the other one for $11. So for $15, I got both of them. So I'm not huge into the G.I. Joe line. But I do have the Dreadnoks, I have Serpentor, and now I've got them, because it was just too good of a deal. So and then I've got an art project to show, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Completed this morning, and I think you guys are going to be impressed. So,
all right.
And let me just kind of show you the sides, and then the back. I just kind of threw the rest of the candy on there. So,
and for our audio listeners, Curtis is showing off.
Yeah, gingerbread house. Me and my daughter and my wife worked on gingerbread houses today. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and mine looks like crap compared to theirs. So
now, do you actually use the frosting, or do you super glue or hot glue it?
Oh no, it was all frosting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I can never get mine to stand up, so I always use the hot glue gun.
Well, I had a problem that like one of the front side of the house like broke in half like as soon as I pulled it out of the package. Yeah. And amazingly, the frosting was strong enough that even with that broken piece, it still held it all together. So yeah, I was pretty impressed. So
and welcome to Dorklair, and he wants to see you eat it live. Let's go.
Maybe later, not quite yet. So. And this isn't a new toy, but I had to bring it for this one. Had to bring my little Mondo relay. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, because that's one of the coolest. If it wasn't for Mondo, we wouldn't have this toy, and I love it. So for that, I will always appreciate Mondo. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right. I got toys for once. So Adam McCombs, as many of you know, seems to be clearing house lately. So I picked it up from him. I got the Masterverse New Adventures He-Man. He's actually going to go over with my Cosmic Legions. So he's going to fit in real nice there. All his accessories are there too.
He'd benefit from a dark wash. But that's all right.
If only I could do that. And then I also grabbed the Masterverse New Adventures Skeletor.
Very nice.
So these were the Target exclusives. Never showed up in my area, and I got them from him cheap retail.
Is the helmet removable?
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it looked like it was. Oh, that's cool.
All his veiny.
I like that. I like it better without the helmet.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I actually think I like the New Adventures better in Masterverse than I do in Classics. I just think because they were kind of thinner figures anyways, so I think that works for them. Like I think this is a more updated representation of New Adventures figures. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, that all being said, New Adventures definitely is the worst series ever to try to watch. So
yes.
Especially Masters related. I can't, like, that's the one that I've tried multiple times and I just can't get through.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get. I've had Shawn watch the first episode for this podcast, and actually one of the things that we're planning on doing, we've been planning on doing, we eventually get to it, is I want to put together like a best of New Adventures and have him watch it, because there are definitely some gems in there.
Yeah,
the series as a whole, there is no reason to watch the entire series. I will give you that.
Well,
but there are definitely some good stuff.
I've seen some, and that's why I appreciate the toys that you got there, because there are some really cool characters and some cool designs. I like some of the things that they came up with. It's just the actual format, the voices, like everything about the episode. The episodes are just so. It's just very difficult to watch. But like you said, there's some really cool stuff in it.
Yeah, and it's one of the first. I mean, they actually did the multi-parters, like the week-long sagas, like Thundercats did, and this Skeletor is amazing. I mean, there's great detail on his back. Scott, he pointed out, like, there is some great detail on this guy.
The only problem I have with those Masterverse figures is the sculpts are much better than the paint apps. You know, there's like.
Yeah, I mean, they're a retail line.
Yeah, so. I mean, some simple, dry brushing, some dark wash, like stuff that wouldn't be that difficult would really make them pop. The sculpts are great. So, there's somebody I know I've seen people that have taken like classifieds and repainted them and stuff. If somebody wanted to do that with this line, I think it would really stand out if somebody repainted these, because the sculpts are amazing.
So what you're saying is, if I send these two to you, you're gonna paint them up for me? Is that what?
No, but I'm sure that Stephen Bisciotti, for a healthy price, would definitely work on it for you.
And actually, they gave him the ponytail too that he got later in the series.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of fun. Yeah, Joe, I agree. And most classics as a whole is superior. Just New Adventures figures, I think I prefer the Masterverse.
You can't complain about the price, though. I mean,
well, that's it. I mean, I don't buy
the Masterverse compared to even when classics was around. I mean, obviously classics are more expensive now because they're not available. But even when they were new, the price of the Masterverse to even come close to being as good sculpture wise is pretty impressive for the price that they're charging.
Well, and I don't pay. Since the first couple waves, I have not paid retail. Like I wait.
Oh, because you're getting it on clearance or whatever.
Yeah. And he does have the translucent power sword and shield too.
That's beautiful.
So, I saw somebody do up. They took the yellow demon. Is that Azar?
Azar, yeah.
Yeah. They took him and some cosmic parts, and then these weapons, and it looked really cool. So,
yeah, that'd be cool.
If I ever tracked one, that'd be fun to do. All right. We've got our pickups.
I do have a quick toy pickup story if you guys got a minute.
Oh, well, of course, we got plenty of minutes.
Okay. So I ordered a couple weeks ago, we were doing our shelf selections on Sunday night, and I did a picture of this 3-0 Optimus Prime. And I had just talked to I was on Dork Layer show, and we were talking about the 3-0 figures, and they just look really cool. So I wanted to get one, and I ordered this 3-0 Optimus Prime, and it was on sale for the I think it was after Cyber Monday, but it was on sale on Amazon. Picked it up for $79. It's normally like $129. Ordered it. And, I actually paid for expedited shipping because I was really excited about getting it. And, a couple days go by, a week goes by, nothing. 2 weeks go by, nothing. Hasn't shipped. Don't know what's going on. They cancel my order. So they don't even tell me why. They just cancel my order. And it was coming from Amazon warehouse. It wasn't like one of those where
I was going to say, I thought it was going to be an overseas, it takes us 3 months
from Amazon. Out. So then I go back on there to look after they cancel my order, and magically enough, it's back on the website, but now it's $129 instead of $79. So I call him up, and I talk to this guy, and I tell him what happened, and he's like, "Oh, we're sorry about that. We'll definitely get you taken care of, but I can't do it. It's above my my pay grade. I got to send you to this other branch." I'm like, "Okay." So they transfer me to another branch. Talk to this other guy. He says, "Hey." I had to go through the whole spiel again. What happened? And he's like, "Hey, that's sorry that happened. We'll definitely get you taken care of, but I can't do it. I got to send you to another place." So they send me to another place. And I'm, meanwhile, I'm on the phone for 30, 40 minutes with Amazon. I get to this third person, and this lady answers, and I go through the spiel again. And she's like, "Oh, well, I see what happened, and I see, it was canceled, and now it's back on there. Unfortunately, we have a policy that doesn't allow us to price match any of that. So you can buy it again if you want, but it's going to now be the new price, which is $50 more." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's not cool. Like, I bought this thing, you had it available, and then you guys canceled my order. Now you put it back on the website for $50 more. That's not cool. I need to talk to somebody else." So she lets me talk to her boss. So I'm not talking to the fourth person. Right. And the boss gets on the phone, and she's like, "Yep, no problem. We'll get you taken care of." She's like, "Actually, I'm going to give you the full purchase price of the figure so that you can go back and buy a new one for the $129. And I'm going to credit you the full amount of the $129 plus any taxes." So so basically I'm getting the figure for free, and it literally just showed up like as we were getting ready to do the intro. So I have not opened it, but it worked out finally. It just took a while to get there. So
that was gonna be my thing too, was like, okay, just like give you a $50 gift card balance, like, because that's what they do whenever I have an issue. They just like, how about I just throw some money in your gift card balance? I was like, great, perfect. So like, throw $50 in there, and I'll go buy this, and it'll
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get it for the price that I initially tried to buy it for, but now I actually got it for free. So yeah, if Amazon is giving you a hard time and they did you wrong, stay on the phone with them because you'll eventually get there. So
just pick on the small businesses, Joe. I agree.
Yes.
And
I'm worried that Amazon might have to go out of business after I, got one over on them like that.
That one figure.
Yeah.
And welcome to Battle Ram Blog, Mr. Adam McCombs himself. Thank you, sir. The figures did arrive in great shape, and I can't wait.
Oh,
to put
nice.
them
That's
on
who you
my
got them
display.
from?
Yep.
Beautiful.
It's actually I had a similar Amazon thing where it was a company where I had to return a dress that my daughter bought, and it they had me actually like ship it back, and then like they had to wait for it to get received. So like I kept checking in with them, and they were like, yeah, we're still waiting for it to hit our warehouse. And I forgot about it for a little bit, and then I went back on and to send another message to them, and it's like, this seller no longer exists on Amazon. And I'm like, oh, awesome. It was like an $85 dress. Like it wasn't, it was a formal dress. So, but long story short, they the same thing. I got a hold of somebody, and they ended up crediting me the amount once I showed them it had been shipped back. So,
gotcha.
Good times. All right, we got some news. Earlier today, we did have designer cons going on this weekend. Mondo did reveal their Motubi Disco Skeletor.
Looks amazing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for what it is, it looks like Disco Skeletor. And he does come with the Terror Claws that were first revealed for the deluxe version. And last I checked this afternoon, he was still in stock. $235. Oh, he is sold out now.
Okay.
So yes,
he sold out quick compared to.
Did he though? Because I checked in like a few hours after he went on, and he was still there.
Well, what I mean by that though is like when I wanted the Anti-Eternia He-Man one, that one lasted a lot longer. This one's nefarious though. It's got that it's got the urban legend vibe about it, or whatever you want to call it, where everybody loved to give this one crap back in the 2000X days.
Yeah, everybody hated it, but then it just kind of became one of those.
It just became
cult things. So limited to 1,000. But like I said, I think everybody who wanted one should have been able to pretty easily get one. It wasn't a 5-minute sellout. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I mean, some of the Motubis, they're gone in a few minutes, so that definitely lasted longer than those. But
yeah, that Merman one, I remember that one was. That's probably about the only one that's really tempted me was that Merman one that they did, because it looks like he's underwater, like it works so well for Merman.
Yeah.
So
my gingerbread house is delicious, by the way.
Oh, he is eating them on the other page right now. Nice. So did either of you guys get this guy?
No,
I did not. I think it's cool. And if it was a 6-inch line, I definitely would have got this. But for 12 inches, like they take up so much room that you really got to. I don't know. Unless you've got a huge display, I think you got to kind of stick with certain core figures.
I know some guys, they like just do the Motubi. Like it's that shiny that gets them. And he is an amazing figure. Like he does look great.
Yeah, the metallic colors look really cool on him.
Yeah, I was tempted because of the whole like, okay, that could be Terraclaw Skeletor on the shelf then.
Yeah,
but I ended up doing the regular version of Skeletor instead. So, but honestly, like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Every time I see it, there's like things that are appealing, and then I look at it more, and then I'm like, oh, I'm kind of glad I don't have it. But that's kind of fun. But I'm glad I don't have it. And it's that whole thing every time I look at it. So, but out of the Motubi ones, I think this one's probably the most. It's just it sinks right in there in that way where compared to like the Man at Arms one, for instance.
Yeah. No, I'd put it at number 2 behind Merman overall. Yeah. Like, it works really well for that.
The Merman one is really cool. The one thing that I would give this a leg up on the Merman one is kind of like Shawn saying, it does have kind of a tie-in to something in the past.
Oh yeah.
You know, the rest of the Motubis are just kind of their own unique thing. But this one, you know, there is some nostalgia factor with this.
Absolutely. Do you guys think it might have sold out a little quicker if they hadn't started sending shipping notices out on the deluxe Skeletor? Like if this had been to get Terror Claws early.
I think that, and this is just my personal thoughts based on my collecting, because I did have the Matubi Skeletor, I had the Matubi Merman, and the line started. I mean, there was a time where they were only putting out like one of these a year. You know, maybe 2 figures a year, but it wasn't a lot. And now they've started ramping it up, and you're getting, 3-4 figures a year, and they take up a lot of space, and you have to start making decisions with your collection. So for me, that's what it is, more than, well, the other one is coming, and this is, because they're really 2 separate things. And if you wanted it, I don't think that would have mattered, in my opinion. I think it's just a space issue.
Well, that, and also, I mean, hell, Panther just $500 right there, just last month. Last month.
Well, yeah, so, and that takes up even more room,
Well, that, and then what? Deluxe Skeletor was a month before that. So it's like that is one of the things about Mondo at this point, is they are cranking these out so much that I'm curious how. I'd love to see the line continue. I'm not saying that I don't want the line to continue, but I'm curious at how much they can keep doing that before the people finally just, like, what's the straw that's going to break the camel's back finally? Paying those kind of prices for something that, 4 or 5 times a year, these things like Battle Cat and all that too. It's like, it's a lot. And then we're going to have horse pretty soon.
Yeah. I wish they were allowed to, because at least my understanding is it's, because of the Mattel licensing and all this. And I wish they were allowed to make 6 or 7 inch figures, because with their designs, man, I would be all in. I would collect every variant and all of that. But
absolutely,
being that it's the size that it is, I mean, you're right. I mean, because, you're talking about the Skeletor and the Panther, and it wasn't too long ago that they took our money for Beastman. So, I mean,
I forgot about Beast.
It's like boom, boom, boom.
So you're
boom.
doing what, 500, 250, 750, like at that, you're into like $1,500 in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
If you grabbed it all. Crazy.
And then on top of that, with Panther, the pre-order for the regular version of Skeletor was there. So if you wanted that one, another $235 you're doing on top of that.
Yeah.
Plus they all, it looks like, at least the last I looked, He-Man's like evergreen. He's still on there.
Yeah.
So
I think the Skeletor is supposed to be like that too. They're supposed to be,
And that's actually good, because that actually gives something that Classics didn't do by making those 2 at least available, that if you want to start the line at any point, we'll see in a year from now if that's the case. But if you want to start the line and those matter to you that much, they're the staples, you have them and you can move forward maybe.
Agreed.
Instead. But
did you end up getting Panther, Curtis?
No, I didn't.
Nice.
I may get the flocked version, but if I was going to get one, it's going to be the flocked.
That's the same conclusion I came to. I think Sean's just out on Panther, but
I had to be. And on top of that, like, I'm just at the point now where I have done enough with the stuff I've brought in that I gotta definitely 6 months or so of just, playing it safe at this point. But
I tell you what I really have liked about the Mondos is the deluxe ones, because especially like the He-Man and the Skeletor, and I hope they do more of those where it's like one figure that has multiple looks. I've never had a toy line that I really changed the looks. Like if it comes with extra accessories or whatever, I usually pick one look, put it on my shelf, and that's what it is.
Right.
But with these, because they take up so much room, like I can't have in my collection, I can't have a Battle Armor He-Man and a Thunder Punch and a regular, but I can every couple months change it out and put the different accessories on it and make it the different version and put it in my display case to look at. So I find myself using more of those extra parts and kind of changing the look on these more than I do with normal like 6 and 7 inch figures.
Makes sense.
Yeah, much more Barbie-esque. So
if that's what you want to call it, okay.
It is. You got your outfits. You like to change their outfits every once in a while.
All right. Like right out of the package with that deluxe He-Man, I loved the Thunder Punch one.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, I think maybe it was about 4 or 5 months after I was like, you know what, I want to put the battle armor one on there and just kind of have that in there for now. And so I think that's probably what's going to happen with the Skeletor. I'm gonna, you know, the battle armor Skeletor look is for me, that was the quintessential Skeletor look when I was growing up. Like I loved the battle armor version. But I know at some point I'll want to see Terror Claws and, you know, the regular and all that. So
absolutely. All right, next up we have from Dark Horse, we have the Art of Masters of the Universe Origins and Masterverse hardcover. I don't remember if we knew that this was coming out. We might have.
Yeah.
But it did release 2 days ago on December 13th. It's an MSRP of $49.99, 224 pages, full color. If you have any of the other Dark Horse art books, it's obviously that same format, just based on all the Origins and Masterverse artwork, which obviously features, you know, Eamon O'Donoghue, Nate Barch, many more. Actually, Minez, yes, thank you.
Does this feel weird to you guys? Like this one, as far as this release?
It doesn't feel weird necessarily as it does. I'm not as excited for it because
everything that they've done up until now has been like old stuff that's done. These lines are still continuing, so it seems very premature to me to put this stuff now. I love the art. I think the stuff that you know, Axel and Eamon and everybody has done has been great. Like the artwork is fantastic. I just don't know why you would put out a book while the lines are still in stores. Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I guess my big thing is just like one of the great parts of these books is seeing the never seen before stuff, you know? But like I feel like since these are such modern lines and we get to see so much more behind the scenes, I mean, like, we know these guys. We've known these guys since before they officially worked on the property.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, there's less of that mystery, like, oh, what's going to be in here? I mean, it's going to be amazing, clear, high-quality copies, you know, without the text and everything else on it. But there's just not as much mystery there where it's like, I don't feel the need to rush out and grab this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's stuff that I've seen recently.
Yeah, just for me, it's like, I don't know. Like, let's say that Masterverse goes for another year, Masterverse and Origins, and then it ends, right?
Yep.
What are they going to put out? Like a little supplemental book that's like, you know, an eighth of the size of this one?
Scott took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, I get that. Yeah, volume 2, great if it goes for another, you know, 3-4 years. But what if it only lasts 6 more months? And so now you've just got, like, let's say you've got 5 or 6 characters that aren't in here that you're missing the artwork for. You know, do you put out a little magazine with the I don't know. It just feels weird to me to do this while the lines are still running.
Granted, I don't know where this ends, but I have a feeling like everything that was just announced, I'm assuming is not going to be on there. So right off the bat, you got 20 to 30 figures right there. And so, yeah, if it goes another year, I mean, that's the thing about Origins and Masterverse. Like, they crank them out. Like, I mean, they're doing new waves like every month. You know, they made them smaller. They're like 4-figure waves, but they are just constantly coming out. So, yeah, I think if it goes another, a pretty good volume 2 easily.
Okay.
Shawn, any interest?
Eventually. For me, it's not one that I need to get like right now. But with the talent in there, it does make me go, I do want to get it at some point. So, yeah, but for the time being, it's cool that it's out. I'm liking what I'm seeing here with the preview pages, because I am somebody that I really enjoy seeing like the pencil work before the inks and all that. So when you see the process, for someone like me, it really interests me. And I did see Nate Barch was posting on Facebook, hey mom, I'm in a, my work's in a book now and all that kind of stuff, which that's already happened if I remember right. But it is really cool that you're going to get those big shots that he did for the Masterverse line in the book. So,
absolutely,
yeah, bring it. But no, I also can see why Curtis is feeling the way he feels about it, though, because it is like it's still an ongoing thing, and it's like, does this mean Scott Knightlake's been right all along? No. Is it going to end? Is that why we're getting this book? Is it? Do we not know this yet? But how many pages? Does it say how many pages it is?
224. So
damn,
it's a good size. And Scott does chime in. He must have gotten it already. He said it goes up to that newest Sunman 3-pack and Snake Mountain. So yeah, so everything that they just announced, you're gonna have Turtles of Grayskull that you could slip in there.
I'll skip that book. Don't need no Turtles of Grayskull.
We've already discussed that. So I mean, but I will say, if that showed up under the Christmas tree, nice and wrapped, I wouldn't say no to it.
Well, nah, neither would I.
Yeah, I still got to get the Revelation art book.
I think that's one that I would prefer to find at a library or something and take a look at it, check it out for a week or two, and then return it, and I would be fine with not owning it. So
the art one or the Revelation one?
The art one.
Okay. Yeah, the Revelation one. Jesse has that one, and I got to look through it at one point, and that one's one that I was pretty surprised by too. But I mean that CGI one that was out, I'll tell you what, that one is still fun to look through. And the other thing is, it was like maybe a month or two back, I went to Barnes & Noble, and those were already 50% off over there. So if you didn't get it initially, there's definitely some deals out there on that one if you had any interest at all to check that book out.
Yeah,
I was pretty pissed because I got it when it first came out. I'm like, you mean I could have saved money and I could have got it only like 5 months later for like 50% off?
That's how it goes. Well, that's why I don't pay full price for Masterverse anymore. But yeah, I want Dark Horse to keep doing this kind of stuff. I want them to tackle the golden books is what I want. I want a golden book collection. And so I'm going to continue to vote with my wallet on that one and keep picking them all up. So.
Seeing some behind the scenes golden book stuff would be awesome.
That would be. Absolutely. I love the golden books.
If they had those, do either of you remember in the 80s they had those really big ones, the really big storybooks that were golden books? And it was like, here's a whole page that is just an illustration of Skeletor. Here's a one that's He-Man. There's that.
Oh, there you go.
I had those, and I don't know what happened to them.
I think I might recall them.
I really, really, if they did those along with the golden books together, you got my money already, because those meant more to me than the golden books, because it's huge artwork, and for me being, for me loving art, that's that was huge for me as a kid.
See, mine was I didn't like to do the reading, so my favorite ones were the ones with the little record.
Yeah, those were great though, because like on top of that you had. The production value on some of those was so freaking cool.
They did good with the voices and stuff.
Yeah. Like the one, the EP one that I know we've covered, and also podcasters of the universe also covered. That one, like the voices for me, like it chilled me to the bone as a kid, because he sounded like Jack Palance or something. He literally sounded like somebody that you did not want to mess with on his worst day,
Yeah.
And then you had the music, which was like 10-minute song that kept repeating itself, and it was brilliant. I loved it. But yeah, that's good stuff. And and that's the thing. I used to know what's the name of the artist on that? Does it have his credit in there?
I think this was what's the name? Yes. God,
Yes.
if you hadn't asked me, I would have remembered his name.
They didn't credit him though.
I don't think on these ones. I can't remember his
Because
name.
he did some of the Golden Books.
Adam, are you still out there? Yeah, I know. We've gone over him before.
Yeah.
But I can't. I'm drawing a blank off the top of my head.
It's like if it wasn't Alcala, it was definitely that guy for me drawing it when I was a kid. Yeah, he just it worked beautifully with his artwork.
It'll come to me.
You broke Dooch's brain.
He's looking it up now because he can't let it go. It's that
right.
I can't. Fred Carrillo.
Yeah, there we go. Fred Carrillo, yeah.
Yes.
It's that whole thing of I watched Doctor Who the other weekend, and they had to pour salt in front of a monster, and the monster had to count all the grains of salt before it could move forward. Yes. That's kind of what you do to Dooch every time if you throw something out there, he doesn't know it. He has to figure it out, or it drives him crazy.
Because I know it, I just can't recall it.
That's the day and age that we live in, that you can just Google it. I remember, being younger and you would have a certain song stuck in your head.
Yep.
And you'd only remember like 3 or 4 words to, or a certain actor, or you're like, I know he was in this movie and I don't know, and you were just stuck with that knowledge that you weren't going to know until it popped into your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the worst thing is now, if you YouTube stuff, because there's show songs that I remember like a couple of parts to it, and then I listen to it on YouTube because I find all these intros to cartoons from when we were kids and stuff. I'm like, where did I come up with my version of that? I like mine better now.
See, Adam's right there with me. He was having a hard time remembering it as well. On that note, let's go ahead and let's give away our first Secret Santa gift. Now, for those of you guys who were here last year, how this works is usually I have a present here to show off, but I didn't actually bring any down with me. So what I do is I wrap a present and I send it to you. So we're going to know who the winners are tonight. We're not going to know what they actually won. So hopefully get that out to you and get to you in time for Christmas or right thereafter. And hopefully you guys can throw it under your tree, open it up, and
so mystery prizes.
Tag us in there. Yep, they're all mystery prizes.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do the first one. We'll do hashtag Fred Carrillo. That's 2 L's.
Because now we will never forget that name.
Fred Carrillo. So just comment below there, all you guys watching. Curtis might be one of the prizes.
I'm just picturing him just laying on the floor like, hey, Joe.
Well, I am a Raiders fan, Joe, so I may come out to visit you in Vegas one of these years just to watch a game.
Just to get disappointed?
Yep.
So for those of you that haven't done this before, just drop that right in the comments. Hashtag Fred Carrillo. We'll let that go for a little bit, and then we'll give it away.
Good odds so far. So
very good odds.
Yeah, jump in here, get something done.
Come on in. So next up, actually, let's go ahead. I know everyone's heard mine and Shawn. Spectacular here.
Sorry, you cut out there for a second. Everybody's heard you're in Shawn what?
Sorry, he made me laugh. Scott wants the leftover gingerbread house. DJ 5000, thanks for coming. Make sure you put the hashtag below that. Do another comment, put hashtag Fred Carrillo.
Man, the Homeowners Association is going to be pissed.
So we've got Shawn. This is our 4th Christmas spectacular. We've done one every year. It's taken me this long to get Shawn to watch the Christmas special, but that'll come up in a little bit. So if you guys want to hear mine and Shawn's Christmas memories, go ahead and listen to one of those old ones. But Curtis, this is the first time we've had you on for our Christmas show. So is there any particular Christmas where you remember a significant master's presence of presents?
I've got
or anything, or any big, like your favorite Christmas gift that you got, even if it's not Masters?
I've got two. So the first one, and this is like right as Masters is coming out, like it's, I think this might even be before I saw, I think it was before the cartoon. And I remember my parents were gone one day. My brother was telling me that there was no Santa Claus, and I was all upset,
He's an asshole, apparently.
Yeah, I was like, that's not true, whatever. So he takes me into my parents' bedroom, and he like goes into their closet, and behold, there's a bunch of toys in there. And one of them up in the top of the closet was the box for Castle Grayskull. The big, massive Grayskull box. And so he's telling me this. So I'm just like bawling. I'm in tears. My parents come home. They're asking me what's wrong. I tell them what happened, that, there's no Santa and they've lied to me and all this kind of stuff. And they, of course, tell me that there is a Santa and that my brother's full of shit and all this kind of thing. And my brother says, because he had asked for Castle Grayskull, for Christmas, I should mention that. So he, my parents are saying that he's lying and all this and that, and he's saying that he's not. And he tells my dad, he says, I know for a fact that there's no Santa because I saw that the Castle Grayskull that I'm getting for Christmas up in the top of your closet. And my dad says, you do not have a Castle Grayskull in the top of our closet. And he said, absolutely, I do. I saw it and I know that it's there. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'm just telling you, there's not a Castle Grayskull for you in the top of our closet. So Christmas morning comes, we go down, and there is a big box that is the same size box as the Castle Grayskull that we saw in their closet. But it's got my name on it instead of my brother's. And my parents gave it to me instead of him. So
that you mean Santa?
Yeah.
Gave it to
Sorry. Yeah. Santa gave it to me instead of him. So that was the year that he kind of changed directions and went down a Star Wars path. And I went down the He-Man path because I had Castle Grayskull. So
nice.
So that's one.
If you can't have Castle Grayskull, there's no point in even continuing the collection.
Exactly. And then I think it was maybe either the next year or 2 years later. My parents had kind of given up the illusion of the whole thing, and so they were just throwing the stuff under the tree like before, weeks before Christmas.
Right. And
I could tell by the way that one of them was wrapped, it was clearly a Masters of the Universe figure, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew that it just from the size of it, because my mom didn't try to like hide it or anything. It was totally the clamshell and everything with wrapping on it. And some of those clamshells had like the little dimple in the front of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought to myself, like, because they were out doing something, or they weren't in the living room or whatever. And I was like, if I just push in the middle where that dimple is, maybe I can open up the wrapping enough that I could see what's in there.
Yeah, you should at least be able to see the belly. That should be a good giveaway. Like, they're pretty.
So I pushed in on that, and it, it did like rip a little in the like where that dimple is. And I looked in. The first thing I saw was the battle armor chest on He-Man.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, oh boy. And the problem was that then I had to act like I didn't know and contain my excitement for the next like week and a half. But yeah, I love those battle armor figures. The battle armor He-Man was pretty good. I still like the original better than battle armor. Battle armor Skeletor, man, that was my jam. The bat, something about the bat, and then just the way that the black stripes and the armor and stuff, the rivets and everything were like, it just looked very metal to me. I don't know, it just made him look super cool. So
very nice. All right, let's go ahead.
I actually have a picture of me on Christmas morning with the Castle Grayskull too.
Oh, nice.
As a kid. Yeah.
I love it. All right, let's go ahead and give this away. Our first Secret Santa prize, hashtag Fred Carrillo. Let's see who we got. Oh, Joe Alves. Congratulations. You are the first winner. Go ahead and reach out to me. I'm sure you know how to find me.
You won Curtis.
Book.
Yeah.
And I will wrap Curtis up and ship him out.
My wife said no. She said he did not win me. So
Well, we'll have to get the lawyers involved again.
He's on loan.
Yeah. We'll work out a timeshare. It's fine. DJ 5000, he loved the battle armor. Manny got his Grayskull for a birthday. I got mine for my birthday as well. And Joe says, woohoo, and just a bow. That's it.
there you go.
Strategically placed.
Oh.
That would have to be well, we'll just leave it at that.
This is Legends of Grayskull. This is Legends of Grayskull. Next week on Offworld, Bill, you can get a little bit more into that.
Yeah, so
we'll show you on the classics where we'll show you on the classics where the bow will be on Curtis, apparently.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure there's a bow on there now. That's for sure.
Stay tuned, folks.
I did want to throw out there. It's kind of news. Right now, through Heritage Auctions, there is a lot of pre-production artwork up for sales. Have you guys seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll share a link over on the Facebook. But I know Motu Joe has been promoting it pretty big. Lots of cool stuff. Some Eternia stuff. I know I saw some Rio Blast sketches. So all artwork from the toy designers as they were working out the concepts, color schemes, everything else. So yeah, definitely check some of that out if you like pre-production artwork. Scott Baker's going after that Rio Blast artwork. That is good stuff. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and let's get to our fan casting. So, sorry, I got to write down Joe's name before I forget that he won. And I would have to come back and watch it.
Fred Carrillo. That's
Fred Carrillo.
Yeah.
We decide. I know we've done a couple of these before where we take Masters characters and we cast them into another movie. I know most recently we did it with Skelly Vader for the Muppets. So for this year, and in honor of the Christmas season, we decided to fan cast a Christmas movie with Masters of the Universe characters. So let's go ahead. I've had my cast list. There we go. So right off the top here, boys, we got to start with Ralphie. So he, of course, is the protagonist of the story, and he wants the Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. Who do you guys think we should cast as Ralphie in our Masters of the Universe Christmas story?
Shawn, you go ahead and go first because I just got thrown for a loop because I thought we were casting a Christmas Carol and I had completely different people, so I'm going to have to work on the fly. But so go ahead.
A Christmas story.
Yeah.
Story.
I'll change directions. Go ahead, Shawn.
I will go with Prince Adam for Ralphie.
Okay. Obviously, that's the obvious thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to go Prince Adam. He's the star of the show, everything else. But then I thought a little bit deeper. And I'm going to propose that Ralphie should actually be Orko.
Damn it. That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Oh, you two are too similar.
Because think about it, though.
This is how it works.
Think about it, though, because... it's the kid, right? And he wants the thing, and regardless of the consequences, he's not listening to that. Like, that's Orko. That's Daimar the Demon Orko right here, Shawn.
Yeah.
I want to play with this demon. I don't care what anyone says. I want that Red Ryder BB gun. I don't care what anybody says. And it looks like Curtis is in agreement there. And so
yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I was going to go with somebody different, because I kind of look at, like, when I think of Ralphie, I think of, kind of, he has these things that ways that he wants things to go,
but
he doesn't really kind of stand up for himself or do enough about it until towards the end of the movie, where he, fights the bully and he does the thing. So the one that also would come to my mind would maybe be Cringer, which would be a little bit different, but yeah, I think Orko was for the childlike reasons and stuff like that, and self-doubt and that kind of thing. I think Orko would be a good one.
And kind of moving on to see if this sways Shawn, because if you set up Orko as Ralphie, that means you can have the old man be Duncan. And then you got that nice dynamic there. Orko helping Duncan change a tire.
Yeah, that works. It does. It does. See, the way that I thought of it, and I forgot, like, instead of it being the way that my mind worked to make this work, I, for some reason, instead of the Red Ryder BB gun, was thinking it was the Power Sword. Because I'm putting it into Eternia. I'm turning it around so that it is like, so it's like Adam might not want the power. Like, they never have it like he covets power, but there is that, him wanting to get the specific thing that will make him brave, make him powerful, similar. I mean, in all of his wish, his fantasies in the movie, it's always he's protecting his family or he's doing something amazing and all that stuff. And it's like, I kind of viewed it as Adam there, and then when you see him in his daydream, he's He-Man busting out with the Power Sword and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I did it the way I did it.
I got you.
If you're gonna play that route, though, you could also do like Skeletor as Ralphie and do Grayskull as the.
You could,
yeah.
And that's actually an interesting movie in and of itself. Then.
Oh. Yeah. Dang it.
I think I like the Orko and Duncan dynamic, though. I think that one, out of all the things we talked about, I think that one sounds the best.
And I think that's where it went in my mind, because I think the Orko Duncan dynamic is more the old man Ralphie dynamic than Randor and Adam. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What you think, Shawn?
No, I get, like I said.
I assume you had Randor as your old man.
I was going with Randor, and then there's that whole the element similar to Ralphie's dad, where it's if only my son were this, and it's like when Ralphie's dad interacts with him as a kid and as I grew up, I always got that vibe. Like, if he was maybe like 5 years older, they probably would be closer. Yeah. Because he'd be able to understand, like the old man, here, take this, and no, turn around, I'm gonna put the nuts in it, and all that. And it's like, Ralphie didn't understand, he wasn't helpful at that point. But if he was a little older, we are PG.
Lug nuts,
taking the tire off the car, the lug nuts. It is Christmas. You can roast nuts at Christmas. It's okay.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I feel like I did get the impression that from Randor that he wanted more for Adam, but I never got the impression that he was irritated by him or but Duncan definitely gets irritated with Orko. Yeah. Like, he gets
Orko.
So
fudge. I just want to hear Duncan say fudge.
No, but
it would be Orko saying fudge.
It would be Orko saying fudge.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
The thing is, right. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want a Filmation Christmas story using this, because I want to hear Man at Arms swear so hard that there's still a cloud of it over Lake Erie or whatever he said in the movie. Because I love, or Lake Michigan, I think he said. Yeah, and it's just that whole idea of every time that you saw him get mad, he finally gets to let loose in this movie, and you hear what he's really upset.
I want him downstairs working on the furnace while everybody's upstairs.
Yeah.
And there's just like smoke coming from downstairs.
Who shut the flue again? Or the vent or whatever. Oh god. Yeah.
All right. So I think definitely good point, Shawn. But I think we got Orko and Duncan locked in there. How about little brother Randy? And we might as well throw out the mom too. We got Mother Parker. Now, all throughout my little brother Randy, this is where I was gonna stick Prince Adam. I was gonna stick him in as Orko. Yeah, exactly. It's just he's in the fucking snowsuit the whole time, and yep.
Now see that's who I figured that'd be Orko in mine.
Well, it's not anymore.
Well, I'm just saying that was mine. You want to know? There you got it. And then I guess like Marlena would have either Marlena or Sorceress for the mom, because either one, you know, they have that like calming vibe compared to, you know, the whole Daddy's gonna kill Ralphie. No, he's not, and all that, you know, and taking him away from the fight, making him feel better at least and stuff.
Yeah, I went Sorceress just because I was going, you know, Duncan and Sorceress, and same thing. She is very much the motherly type, so can't go wrong.
Yeah, and I could see her trying to protect him, you know, when the dad's angry and stuff. For I don't know if I'm thinking like a younger sibling to Orko.
Yeah.
The first thing that pops in my head is Driel, but I don't know.
Yuckers.
I was gonna say Yuckers. I think if you're going trawling.
Yeah, I could see that.
That was also in my mind too.
What was the dude on She-Ra, the little thing that was like you always
Lukey.
Lukey.
That would be a good one too.
That would be too. All right, Shawn, you're deciding vote. Who's little brother Randy?
I actually like Yuckers, to be honest.
Right. There we go. Yuckers we got for the little brother.
It works because he pissed off Orko how many times, you know.
Almost took down all of Eternia with the Horn of Evil. Curtis, deciding vote, Marlena or Sorceress for the mother?
You gotta go Sorceress.
All right, Sorceress for the mother. All right, let's go with Flick. Now, Flick's the one that got his tongue stuck to the flagpole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So who are we going with for Flick? Who's getting their tongue stuck to the flagpole?
It's got to be somebody stupid. I was thinking Ram Man too.
Yeah,
it's got to be somebody dumb.
All right.
Yeah.
I went Lizard Man in my head just because of like the lizard tongue thing, but I think you guys are right. I like Ram Man better.
I could totally see Ram Man getting convinced to do that by a triple dare. You know.
Oh yeah. And I want to see. I want him still with like the full armor on, but then like a scarf and a hat on top of his armor. That's that's perfect. Let's see here. We got Scut Farkas.
Oof.
If I'm remembering the character names correctly, that is the bully, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in my mind, obviously, like Skeletor's a go-to for bully, but just the way the kid kind of looked with like the red hair and the wild hair and everything, Beastman is where I was going with it.
The thing, I mean, the one that they were, I guess they were afraid of both of them evenly, but the littler kid was the one that had the brains out of the two of them, and then Scott was just the muscle and the older kid or whatever. So yeah, I agree with that. But Beastman works. Yellow eyes. God, he had yellow eyes.
Shawn really knows his Christmas story.
Seen it quite a lot, but I don't remember every single line like I do with Ghostbusters. Or
who's the when they went back to like Orko's world and there was a big bad that was terrorizing it.
Dragoon.
Yeah.
Dragoon.
Yeah.
In the one episode, and there was another episode where there was an evil Trawlin that was trying to take over the place.
Yeah, I think those would be good. I don't know. I'm okay with whatever, really. I think Beastman works, but I'm not sold on anything.
All right. We'll go Beastman then.
Yeah, that works.
Miss Shields. We got the teacher.
It'd be
Angry teacher.
See, I'm thinking Evelyn.
I was thinking Evelyn too, because she.
Yeah.
Well, she's very. I mean, he literally pictures her as the witch.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know what I mean? Like,
but he pictured his mom as a Harley Quinn clown too, though. So, because that was like in general, she's kind of stern, but she doesn't really. She's not like a bad guy necessarily. She's just an obstacle to overcome.
Yeah.
And Teela sometimes is an obstacle to overcome for Adam to become He-Man when the chips are down. So that's kind of why I thought Teela. And she's his protector, or his bodyguard, I should say. But she also, in 2000X, she's teaching him to defend himself and teaching him to be a warrior at the same time. So,
I mean, I always saw Teela as a villain anyway, so I'm okay with either one.
All right, Teela is our teacher. And thank you, Manny. Snoob. Snoob was the name of the evil Trollan that I was trying to think of.
Especially in 2000X. 2000X, Teela is like, man, she's annoying. Yeah. She's always getting on Adam's case. Like, dude, just leave him the frick alone. Like, he's the prince. If he wants to lay around and be lazy, let him lay around and be lazy. Like, who are you to question him? Get the heck out of there.
Well, Sandy, no, that's Rose Google. And Scott Baker, sorry, you threw out Buzz off somewhere. I think it was to the flagpole, but
does Buzz even have a tongue?
I was just thinking that, I guess technically he talks, right?
Yeah.
How about the Santa Claus? Who's playing our Santa Claus?
See, this is where I have like He-Man or Adam, maybe Randor.
Yeah, this one was a hard one for me. I didn't really settle on anybody. This is another one that you might be able to throw like the Beastman into, just but again, kind of like Sean's problem with the teacher. Like he's not necessarily like evil or anything. He's just kind of that department store Santa that doesn't really give a shit.
I think I would go Randor.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a twinkle in Sean's eye. I like when there's a twinkle in Sean's eye.
Zodak.
Ooh.
Are you good or have you been, you been good or bad? And
I like that.
At the end of the day, he wants something that he could be bad with. And what does he get? He gets a foot in the face and pushed down a slide because maybe he doesn't deserve it. Maybe that'll offset the balance.
He's even the Santa colors. So.
Yeah, and I mean, he can have all the cosmic enforcers being his elves. It would be fun as hell to watch that.
I can get behind that.
And he's in a chair. He's sitting in a chair. I mean, there you go.
It all works. It's perfect.
Yep. I will throw Scott does have a point here, and I hate this version of Randor. This is the only place where he would be appropriate, and that is the drunken Potu Randor.
Have you been good this year? What have you done? What did you do? Why?
All right. I think that's all our main characters, but I'll let Sean sign off on that because he is definitely more of the Christmas story guy.
We didn't do the toady. What's his name? I mean, we alluded to him, but we didn't cast him. Really, we did Scott Farkas though.
Which one was that? Schwartz?
No, the
Rover Dill.
The little kid with the hat.
The little kid
bad guy.
Scott.
Gotcha. Yes.
And that, I mean, right there, that's Skeletor. So I mean, that's an easy one for me. He just wants to run around causing havoc with Scott. So, and make kids give him lunch money or whatever it is. And I love that he's like, "Rah!" And he's like freaking 2 foot nothing, but somehow they're scared of the kid. So,
yeah, I can get with that.
Yeah,
perfect.
So the question is Orko after the Red Ryder BB gun, just like in the movie, or is it he after something else that's from Eternia, perhaps like his wand, maybe his wand or something?
If we're gonna switch it to an Eternian artifact, it'd have to be his magic wand. He wants the tiny Trawlin magic wand. So
that works. Okay.
And he's gonna blast his eye out. I'm gonna blast my eye out.
You'll blast your eye out.
All right. Very nice. Let's go ahead and give away another present. Why not? Let's do same thing, guys. Throw this hashtag down below.
Is Joe Gonzalez.
Hashtag is Joe Gonzalez.
I didn't reload it. We're gonna go hashtag magic wand.
I think we got more prizes than people at this point.
Yeah, you don't know how many prizes I have.
They'll get what they're given.
We are thankful for everybody, no matter what the numbers. And some, I know I did a horrible job of promoting this. So, all right, throw hashtag magic wand down in there, and we'll give that away in just a minute.
Oh boy, here we go. Know what's next?
Special.
Yeah, here we go.
Try my book.
She-Ra.
I did watch it today.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I
did.
Wednesday night. So I always have to watch it at least once a year. So
I have to because I'm on podcasts and they make me.
Joe is asking if he can win more than one.
That will be up to the douche because he's the one doing the spin. But
Douche, is Joe eligible again, or is it one and done?
We're gonna go ahead and do one and done for right now.
Okay. Until we run out of people.
That'll be the next one.
Gotcha.
We'll start giving ourselves presents at that
point. There
you go. All right. Now that I have my book, because I'm so used to doing this. All right. So we are discussing the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special, written by Don Heckman and Bob Forward, directed by Ernie Schmidt and Bill Reed. In the UK, this was originally aired on December 30th, 1985. So without going into, we'll get into the actual story in a minute here. When do you guys remember first watching this? And what did you think of it at that age, generally?
I mean, I remember watching it when it came out. And you know, it was one of those where, you know, my sister had gotten into She-Ra, and I actually thought it was really cool. I didn't play with my toys. I didn't like share my toys with my sister or play, but I definitely stole some of her Horde figures to play with He-Man. So I thought it was cool because it was like I got extra toys without having to use up my birthday or Christmas money. Yeah, I remember seeing it at the time, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was a good, like they mixed the two together and did a pretty good job. So,
I want to say I saw it when it first aired because it was on like a weekend, if I remember.
Yeah, I could see that.
That was like one of those, like there's a He-Man episode that I haven't seen and it's about to air in the afternoon on a weekend, you know. And I'm pretty sure I watched the whole thing. But yeah, for me it was a mixed bag because that was around the time when like I was still into He-Man, but this wasn't exactly my cup of tea of the He-Man stuff that I wanted. So I know what was on. I know I saw the whole thing. I don't remember my initial reaction to it as a kid anymore.
Fair enough. I was less than a year old when this first premiered.
So you remember the whole thing.
But I watched it day and date. I was sitting there in my Pampers in my high chair and
bottle in one hand, power sword in the other. Oh wait, this is Legends of Grayskull. We don't talk about that.
But yeah, it's one that I don't remember a Christmas without this special. My mom had recorded it off live TV, so much so that the opening lines I never heard until I got the DVD, because the beginning there was a thunderstorm warning in our area. Wow. So the beginning of my Christmas special was like, and then these counties are on a watch. These counties are on a warning. So like that, the opening dialogue with Marlena and Randor, like I never heard that until DVD. So, because I could hear muffled, but it was just the so to the point where like it still feels weird to me watching it without that. I have actually gone through, because there are some YouTube channels where they've uploaded like their personal copy, like with commercials intact. I've actually gone through some of those on the off chance that like maybe someone like recorded in the same area at the same time. Like I would love to be able to find a copy with that thunderstorm or winter storm, actually, now that I'm talking about, because it was December, I'm sure. But yeah, it's just funny. All right, so let's so for me, this is required viewing every year. Watched it every year growing up. Ever since the DVDs came out, I watch at least once a year. Have you guys stayed with this the whole way, or have some of you not come back to it in a while?
Well, I'll just answer for me. I kind of got away from toys there for quite a while, from when I hit like my late teens, mid to late teens, until I got back into it in my probably mid 30s. But as soon as I started getting back into toys, I started watching this every year. So I would say probably for the last, 10 years or so, I've been, watching it every year. So
nice.
I've been made to watch it the last couple times. I when I was on Council of the First Ones, the first Christmas episode that we did, it was Renee, who's passed away now back from COVID in 2020, but he hosted, and David Clark and I did basically Mystery Science Theater throughout. And I did not criticize it because it was the very first podcast I was ever on, and I didn't want to be that guy. But rewatching it that way had me sitting there going, I remember some of this, and I know why I blocked some of this out, and I'm just going to be this guy and, focus forward. Do not be, like going on your tangents or whatever. But I've probably, grand total in my life, I think I've probably seen this 4 or 5 times at the most.
I'm a Curtis. Oh, we got him to do it this year, so.
Yeah, this afternoon while I was working, I had it on and I was watching it while I was working.
All right, let's go ahead and give away this magic wand one right quick. Yes.
So now that Dooch got you to watch it this year, what is the reset timer on it? Like, when do you?
Let's get through it first, and then we'll. All right, Scott Baker, congratulations! Nice. You are our next winner. Go ahead and get me your address, and your gift will be on its way.
Awesome.
Beauty.
All right, let's get into this. Scene 1. At the Royal Palace, King Randor and Queen Marlena watch as Eternians and Etherians alike decorate and prepare for the upcoming birthday celebration in honor of Prince Adam and Princess Adora. Meanwhile, Prince Adam and Man-at-Arms are busy setting up the Sky Spy, a new spaceship that will allow them to watch Skeletor's every move. A curious Orko climbs into the Sky Spy and accidentally starts the engines. Within moments, he finds himself blasting off as an amazing Christmas special intro comes on. After that, he is being chased by Skeletor and his evil warriors. He-Man and She-Ra prevent Skeletor from capturing the Sky Spy, but are unable to reach the ship as it hits warp speed, vanishing from sight.
Yeah.
Now, for me, as a kid, seeing that opening, Eternians, all the Etherians, like, blew my mind. I'm like, there is everybody, you know, and together, right? Because, I mean, we had some He-Man crossovers into She-Ra, but, like, the Rebels never came to Eternia, you know. Now, years later, we know it's because of how the series were produced. But for me as a kid, especially, I only had the VHS tapes to go off of. If you didn't know, Curtis, like I didn't get the show in my area by the time I was watching it. We didn't have cable, so I only had the VHS tapes. So for me, like this, a lot of characters, Cyclone, this is the only time I saw him in animation growing up, you know. So it was really cool there. And just whenever you see something different, like the palace covered in snow, you know, it's just those little things that are like, okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part. Like I forgot how many characters were even in that scene.
Yeah.
Like you said, Cyclone walking by, and I mean, like I like the Fisto was in the background at one point and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, the first thought that I had looking at how many people were there though is Etheria is effed. Because everybody is here, and who's going to stop Hordak today? Because they literally all just, we're going to go through the portal, and boom, and it's like, well, Merry Christmas to Hordak. He gets all of Etheria to himself, you know.
Mermista stayed behind.
Yeah,
Mermista stayed behind, but how much is she really going to help when it comes to everything? I mean, I know, you know, she's.
Yeah.
I'm sure Etheria has a decent amount of water on its surface, but. I don't know. She doesn't strike me as being that kind of a character. So.
I can't disagree with you. Definitely watching it as I got older with the critical eye, like that is definitely a point that is valid.
See, I never looked at it with, you know, realism in mind. like I'm, you know, just kind of, you know, put all that stuff in the back of my head and. You know, just try to enjoy it like I was a kid. And for me, like the whole Orko being Orko and doing something stupid and, you know, irritating Man-at-Arms is like quintessential Filmation. So,
yeah,
you know, it's just a great start to it. The Collector, like just seeing the Collector, I always wanted that vehicle. And it's a shame that with all the different Masters lines that we've gotten, we've never gotten a Collector. That really sucks. But that battle with, you know, He-Man and She-Ra on the Collector trying to stop him from getting that thing. And, you know, just seeing like, I think that was the first one that I remember seeing like Spike-Or and maybe even Too Bad.
Yeah, that was for me, that was the same way. Like Spike-Or, Too Bad, Ratlore. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah. So you get to see these characters that you don't get to see a whole lot. You know, the whole fight there with the Collector and stuff, and I just thought that whole beginning was really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I really felt like the action was stepped up, which is funny because this is the Christmas special. But like, you know, He-Man zooming out, laser bolt, like he's riding the laser bolt, only appearance in the Filmation series. And I love that toy. You know, he rides up there, he jumps on, you know, the huge Collector with the tiny Sky Spy, which we just saw Orko like flying up.
Right.
And now it's like this tiny thing the claws going out, He-Man just whipping, using his sword to the best of Filmation's ability, right? Like, I feel like if this had been a regular Filmation episode, he would have like tied the claws into a bow or something.
Well, he did tie him into a knot there for a bit.
But then he whips out his sword and then he's like, ding, ding. The force belt is coming out.
Yeah.
He-Man and She-Ra at their quippiest, paws to claws.
Yeah.
Well,
I liked the fact that they made He-Man and She-Ra work very well together. It wasn't like He-Man was always saving She-Ra, and it wasn't that She-Ra was always saving He-Man. Like they both worked really well together. It was very kind of equal partner in power kind of thing. So I thought they did a good job of that, to where, if you're a She-Ra fan, you're a girl at that age and you're watching it, you don't feel like, oh, well, she's playing second fiddle to He-Man. And if you're a boy watching it, I don't think that you see that and go, oh, well, he's not as cool as he used to be, and he's got to get saved by his sister and stuff. Yeah. So I thought they did a pretty good job with that.
I agree. I still to this day, one of my favorite scenes in all of the series is, the first force belt comes out and He-Man just like, pop, and then like a dozen force belts come out. He's like, I think I'm in trouble.
Well, yeah, and he also like he drops the sword, and it's funny because like the sword, they're flying at whatever speed they're flying at, and the sword just like sits there at his feet. It doesn't go anywhere. It is like,
But again, I always notice the same thing, and definitely the animation was stepped up for this special because, in any other episode, the sword would have dropped and it would have just been gone. Yeah. And then he would have just had it back later. But they actually made sure it stayed there. And there's a few other points in there along the way versus a normal episode. Like, if nothing else, I think these guys were really like, we got to knock this out of the park. So, what's up, Wichita, Richard? We just finished scene 1 of the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special. On to scene 2.
Scene 2.
All right. After crash landing on the planet Earth, Orko saves a young brother and sister, Miguel and Alicia, from an avalanche. Back on Eternia, the heroes realize that Orko was in the Sky Spy when it launched. Man-at-Arms reveals that he can bring Orko back with a transport beam, but requires a Carium water crystal. A crystal not located on Eternia. What do we think of the children?
Alicia's got great eyes. She got those beautiful blue eyes.
Yep. No blonde hair, blue-eyed. What's up, Lacey Dean? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
I always thought it was just kind of odd that they're out there on their own without supervision and stuff. As a kid, like it was just one of those 80s. Where it's like well, like their parents that kind of thing. But
I mean, the 80s were big time stranger danger and all that stuff for a lot of kids. So that I agree with that. Actually, you
were out from sun up to sunset, not a cell phone in sight. That's
I get that, and I was, but to be out in the middle of nowhere in a snowstorm dragging a Christmas tree, like it was just kind of like, okay, this is a little bit odd, but I understand that they have to set up what's to come and stuff. So
I think that
I didn't really have a problem with it, but I don't think that this scene was as good for me as the first scene for sure.
Well, I think it's one of those things where it's like, so it's like Christmas vacation, right? Mom's working at the department store to get some extra Christmas money. Dad's a doctor, so he's busy all day. And it's like, it's Miguel and Alicia sitting there, and Miguel's like, what we should do? We should go get a Christmas tree. Mom and Dad will be mad. No, let's go do it. Come on. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
And then next thing they know, it's like, no, Miguel, we shouldn't go this far. Like,
when we see who their parents are at the end, no, I'm not trying to jump forward too far. I'm not trying to jump forward that far. But all I'll say is there is no freaking way that their father is a doctor. That guy was fighting King Koopa in the freaking sewer. When I saw him,
Wow.
that's freaking Mario, dude. There's no way around
This
that.
isn't Off-World, Sean. Wichita Richard, that I would not mind the Miguel, Orko, and Alicia finding a dead body by the railroad tracks. That could be a good movie there. Oh.
You want to see a dead body?
Trista, welcome. Well, we just got an influx of new watchers, so I think we need to give away our third Secret Santa prize.
Orko shows up in the ship. First thing Miguel says is, "You want to see a dead body?"
Killed somebody.
Orko's like, "What planet did I land on?"
Orko ends up being on a roast spit of a fire for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Kind of gummy.
So we're giving away some Secret Santa presents here, guys. If you win, I send you a present. You don't know what it is. You get to open it on Christmas Day if I get it out in time. And for this giveaway, we're going to do hashtag dead body. So go ahead and drop that in the comments there with the hashtag dead body. And we will give that away in just a little bit.
Was it still part of scene 2 where the avalanche is occurring?
Right. That's what Orko saves them from the avalanche and everything else. Yep.
So one thing that I wanted to bring up and mention on that, because I think it's interesting that on Trala, his magic works. On Earth, his magic works. It seems like just on Eternia that his magic is really backwards.
Yeah. Well, it's not that his magic never worked on Eternia. It
usually goes wrong, but in other places it goes right. And I wonder, I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to draw too much into it, but I wonder if there's something to do with the magic of Grayskull, the magic of whatever else is going on Eternia that makes his not work the way that it should as it does in other places.
And I think, Sean, we discussed this before, probably on our Trouble in Trala episode, because when Adam goes to Trala, he has trouble transforming into He-Man.
Yeah, I like that transformation.
He's got to figure it out. So we talked about there's some kind of magical interference going on. But I mean, even here, he does the spell and then he literally goes, "Please work."
Right.
These kids I'm going to see a dead body here if my spell doesn't work. I'm going to see 2 of them.
Right.
So yeah, it's it definitely wasn't a sure thing. I didn't feel.
Well, I mean, he lands on a strange planet. He doesn't know whether it's going to work or not. So I get that, but I just thought that was an interesting part. Yeah,
I completely agree.
Just real quickly, see if you can do hashtag dead body, all one word.
One word.
Like everybody has it on there, and then that way you'll be entered. Otherwise, you probably won't be entered.
Yep. Good call, Sean. Good call. And of course, we've got Mannerms creating a transporter beam that requires an element that's not on Eternia.
Yeah.
So that's always fun. He does say Carium Water Crystal, and in the later Brave Star series, Carium is the New Texas equivalent to gold. So it's a rare mineral. So this is kind of the beginning of that. Okay. At least the name. All right. So luckily, Adora knows where they can, she knows there's Carium water crystals on Etheria. And since they're water crystals, who else should she talk to but Mermista? So she heads to Mermista on Etheria in the glorious Crystal Falls, now available on your toy shelves from Mattel. Mermista informs She-Ra that a pool within the old ruins is where the crystal can be found, but the beast monster guards it. She-Ra, Swiftwind, and Mermista overpower the beast monster and attain the crystal. As Mermista departs, the Monstroids appear and imprison She-Ra and Swiftwind. The villainous robots leave for Monstroid Central, enabling She-Ra to escape. Did any of you guys realize as kids that the beast monster was supposed to be the Fright Zone toy playset puppet?
I didn't even realize that until you just said that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been gypped. No,
I never thought of it as a kid because I viewed that puppet as a snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at the neck and head of the beast monster, it is very Fright Zone puppety. So
I just like that they were worried about that monster, and then She-Ra just kind of dispatched him like super easily, just like kind of like one of those when you see a sumo wrestler and like one of the wrestlers is charging the other one and use their own like momentum against them. She was just like kind of sidestepping, like, there you go, like just get over there and dumps him in that thing. And then it was just like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, I remember that scene being much cooler as a kid. Oh, the beast monster! Oh, he's roaring and he's coming at her, and oh no!
Yeah,
He-Man did that sidestep move. He-Man did that sidestep move how many times though? Like, as much as it's like, wow, it's He-Man, it's action, and then out of nowhere he'll just grab somebody, just throw him, and then that's the end of that. And you're like, I thought he was gonna punch him. I thought it was gonna go the distance this time. No. No, but now I'm like, I actually feel bad for that Fright Zone monster because I'm like, dude, only he could get his head and neck out. That's horrible.
Yeah,
that thing's bigger than that. It's like the Horde are jerks. You know, like they probably put that around it so they could keep it there, and then it's like, oh yeah, he'll feed on.
Maybe that's where he stuck after She-Ra threw him, and so from that point on, he could only get his neck and head out.
I didn't even think about that. Is his last scene? He's just shooting the neck out at her. Oh my god!
I figured it out. Thank you.
I did think about that with the playset on this watch today. I'm like, it'd be cool if like down the line he like Kool-Aid Man's out of like the playset, like, oh yeah, rock going everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude, that would have made the Fright Zone so much cooler if they actually like you could actually have him come out, and then it's even more. It was
scary. Actually like a whole rock thing with a hole, like it like pops open
and breaks them apart. Yeah.
It's not just a little snake. It's a whole monster.
I love it.
Oh, good times. Real quick here, just a reminder, we are doing #DeadBody for the latest Secret Santa giveaway. Matthew Dotter, welcome. If you weren't listening a few minutes ago, that hashtag makes no sense, but trust me, it does. Go ahead, drop that down there. We'll give that away in a second. And the Monstroids. So obviously, resemblance to same name as the Monstroid toy, and that's where the similarities end for that. But it's definitely something I think was, a lot of the She-Ra stuff Mattel and Filmation worked on together with the concepts. So I've got to imagine they were passing concepts back and forth for the Monstroid at that point. And obviously Filmation were going more of a big robot for it. Mm-hmm. And I know the toy was kind of robotic too, but also very monstrous. So,
I mean, it should be noted that this special came, towards the end of the He-Man line,
right?
The Filmation series, I should say. And
it was produced between seasons 1 and 2 of She-Ra.
Right.
So the He-Man tune was already done, and half of She-Ra was already done.
Right. So at this time, some of the whether it's Transformers, GoBots, different things toy-wise are really picking up speed in terms of robot toys and stuff. Yep. So I felt like there was kind of that influence on these. It was, I don't know, as somebody that watched all of Filmation and some of She-Ra, like introducing new big bads, I guess, in a Christmas special just kind of felt a little weird. Like I never really bought that they were much of a real threat.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that we ever really got in toy format like they are in that special. So
right.
It just never really landed for me. The monster that she fights beforehand, I thought was really cool, but the Monstroids, it just never really did anything for me.
Yes, Matthew Dotter, we are talking about the Christmas special. It's going to be a fun wild ride. We just started. I completely get what you're saying. I did just look it up. The Monstroid toy came out in '86. So yeah, that's definitely during the development of that. let's go ahead and give away this dead body here, and then we'll move on to the next.
It'd be funny. It just a dead body shows up at somebody's house as a prize. It's like, here, I killed it. You take care of it.
Like, Clint Fogey, congratulations, Clint. You are the latest winner of our Secret Santa prize. Reach out to me. Either Facebook, if you're on it, Matthew Duch, or logpod85@gmail.com if you're not on Facebook. Get me your address, and we'll get you a prize.
Congrats.
Real quick before we do leave this scene, because I just forgot, it does have one of my favorite She-Ra sword transformations when she's getting out of the bubble, and she does sword to flame and just cuts through it. I always like that scene.
I like the spin kick that she does once she cuts.
Oh, after she carves it.
And then she spins and like gives a roundhouse to it and knocks it open. I was like, okay, that was pretty badass.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I really feel like the action in this whole thing is like a step above. Like, I don't know if it's because it was a special and maybe the normal censors weren't looking at it because it was broadcast on a weekend, more in prime time. Maybe it was like they actually had less restrictions or people weren't going to look at it as closely.
Yeah.
All right. Back on Earth, the children are telling Orko about Christmas. When Man-at-Arms transport beam activates, Orko and the children walk towards the light, and all three appear on Eternia. As the water crystal cannot be recharged for a few days, Queen Marlena declares that Prince Adam and Adora's birthday will double as a Christmas celebration, so that Alicia and Miguel will not miss out. Meanwhile, in Horde World, Horde Prime is furious that a new spirit of goodness has arrived on Eternia. He summons Hordak and Skeletor and commands them to destroy the spirit of Christmas, i.e. Alicia and Miguel.
Shawn, you want to go first or you want me to hit it?
It's getting pretty dark, but I'm still going to go with my initial thought. Horde Prime should just go, hey, Hordak, take over now. Get in there. Get it done. There's literally 2 of them left, and you could take these guys. That's just my opinion.
Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it's pretty much it's I don't know why that is such a weird quantity of like Christmas spirit. Now this is a problem for me. It almost makes me think of like Unicron in the Matrix. It's like out of nowhere, here's this entity, here's this power source that now is a big problem and making this planet, like shaking its knees. And it's like Horde Prime scared of Christmas. It's so like the whole special for me always messes with my head because it's not where I ever expected any masters to go. And then 2 years later, they went to Earth again anyway. So who would have thought? But yeah, it's still odd in that way for me because I never ever wanted to see Christmas or Earth, and it's all happening. It's all happening. It's all happening.
I kind of like so. First, right off the bat, like there is kind of a suspension of disbelief. Like you have to have like this special has to kind of exist sideways in the continuity, especially with scenes that are coming up later, which I love. But it's still like. It's got to be one of those things where you got to suspend a little bit of it. And to me, like Horde Prime is set up as such a big evil bad. And so like the idea that especially as a kid, like the idea that the spirit of Christmas is such a spirit for good and hope and peace that like this pure force of evil is like threatened by it. Like, shit, that's one more thing that's going to give these rebels some hope. Like, no, cut that shit out right now. That's kind of a cool concept. And again, going to Brave Star a little bit here, like, I don't know how much you guys remember that show, but, the big bad in the movie Stampede that gives Tex-Hex his abilities and everything, like, he was supposed to be related to Horde Prime. So they're, they're kind of setting up in the Filmation universe that there are all these kind of big forces of evil, it kind of, almost like a Four Horsemen kind of thing, a dark four. And so for the idea that like Christmas could be one of the forces, you know, Christmas and Grayskull, and like these are all these forces of good, you know, that it's a fun little thing to play around with in my mind. It's almost Rise of the Guardians style concept.
For me, starting off with the first part of it, where they're telling Orko about Christmas, I think they did a really good job of incorporating some ideas of Christmas without getting too much on the religious side to where they would, kind of ostracize anybody. They did mention the 3 wise men and Bethlehem and stuff, but they didn't, like, they kept kind of they would tell the story and they would cut away and then come back and they would be telling another part of the story. And they really landed on the main idea with Christmas is basically the goodwill towards men and loving one another and all this and that. So
and
I think
presents, right?
What's that?
And presents, right?
Yeah, and presents. So I think they did a good job of kind of getting the feeling of Christmas without going too far down the Christ path, I guess. Yeah. Which wouldn't have bothered me, but I know that for other people it may have. So I think they did a good job of navigating that part of it. As far as the Hordak and Skeletor with Horde Prime thing, I thought that was awesome. Like to see these two that have been kind of the big bads of those universes have to answer to somebody else was really cool. And I always kind of felt like Horde Prime was really like the Zodak for the other side, kind of like Zodak. If things start going too much down the evil path, Zodak has to interfere and kind of stop it. And I feel like Horde Prime is kind of the opposite. Like if things start getting too good, people start getting too cheery or too happy or too loving. And, so that's where, kind of what you're saying, Dooch, like it was like the overall feeling of goodness and happiness and, is getting too much to where like he needs somebody to step in and put a stop to this. Not that them throwing a Christmas party or something was going to be the problem, but it's actually just the hopefulness and everything else that had to, they had to kind of squash it. And in my opinion, they did that. Like, even, I don't think you needed to kill Alicia and Miguel to do that. I think you just needed to cause some chaos, which I think they did a really good job of, to kind of at least not stop the goodwill, but at least kind of distract them for a little bit.
Yeah, and if they can kidnap the children and take them, like there's the hope gone, literally.
Yeah.
Completely agree. And Lacey is wearing a Brave Star shirt right now. Very nice, Lacey. All right. On to the next. Where are we? On Eternia, Bo and Perfuma entertain the children, but their enjoyment is cut short when Hordak captures Alicia, Miguel, and Orko. On his way back to Etheria, Hordak encounters the Monstroid, who take the children for their own, fully aware that Horde Prime wants them. He-Man and She-Ra visit Peekaboo, who uses her special vision to inform them that the children have been captured by the Monstroids. Orko and the children are freed from their jail cell by Cutter, one of the Manchines. Orko, Cutter, Alicia, and Miguel, along with Cutter's cousin Zipper, attempt to escape the Monstroids. So, lots happening here. We got one of the best songs in all the series. You got to give Bo a little bit of credit for his entrepreneurship. He's like, "Oh, Christmas, huh? They do songs about that, huh? Oh, I'm gonna get right in on that. Like, I'm gonna compose this thing in 5 minutes. Here we go. First Christmas song on Eternia. Copyright Bo."
Do you have it queued up to play, or?
I should have. That would have been really cool.
That would have been really awesome.
That would have been really awesome.
I think, for what it is, it's campy and silly, but it's got a little bit of an earworm net-esque to it. It's all right. It's not bad. I think they did Bo dirty where, he basically can't do anything. He just gets frozen solid in 2 seconds, and he can't.
As soon as he draws the bow, he's like,
yeah, it's just frozen. You're done. So I think they did him a little dirty with that, but And then I'm going to throw out what, may turn out to be an unpopular opinion, but unlike the Monstroids, I love the Manchines.
I love the Manchines. I've always loved them.
Man.
They're
Cutter
amazing.
and Zipper. I love Zipper. Oh,
Come
man.
on, they're right behind us.
So it is just silly and ridiculous, and it's everything that I ever loved about Filmation. So yeah, I love the Manchines. So
yeah, that whole scene where they're sitting in the prison cell and everything, and the Cutter comes up to the bar and how are we gonna get out of here? They don't call me Cutter for nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Shawn?
The Manchines are like if a GoBot and Thomas the Tank Engine had a weekend in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I am not a fan. The one sounded like he was trying to do an impression of Bill Cosby, which was weird enough to listen. Zipper. Every time I heard that, I wanted him to say Jello pudding snacks the whole time, or pudding pops, or whatever it was.
Who's that?
And when they went to that song, I just was sitting there going, "Oh my god!" Like I know you guys are okay with the campy. Like, I'll be honest, and I've said this before, and I know I'm the unpopular opinion on this episode, and I'm okay with that right now because, like, when I first in the theater sat there and watched Secret of the Sword and the theme song came on, I remember as a kid I was blushing and going, "Oh fuck, what am I in for?" Sorry, but I did it. I was like, "What am I in for? Why are these the power of love and all that?" I mean, it's like Huey Lewis can pull it off, but this didn't work for me. And this also didn't.
I'll walk the universe to find her.
And he's just gonna sing through my whole thing. But anyway, and
come on.
Watching this special in particular still has me going. If She-Ra wasn't on Etheria, these people would be so boned right now because I don't see anybody who has a legit they're gonna be like the next one to help if She-Ra isn't there, and it just the whole thing is just not working for me on any level right now. When the kids sing the song, oh my god,
love and caring, happiness.
It makes me want to turn into a serial killer for people. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard.
Christmas comes but once a year, Eternia and everywhere. Matthew, I agree. Both songs are phenomenal. And Wichita Richard, Manchines better than the Meteorbs. Absolutely. Hands down. I wanted Manchine toys as a kid. Just, little. Now I know Battle Beast size guys with one rolls and one's got spinny hands and everything. Yeah,
I would have loved a Cutter with like if it had like a little thing that you
button
did,
and
it would spin around. Oh yeah. Yeah,
the guy with the rope. The rope comes out of his chest and everything.
Yeah,
it's great.
I love the Manchines. Oh, so good.
And Snout Spout does make a couple appearances, but it's in the beginning and the end. Dusty Standiford, welcome, buddy. Merry Christmas. Yeah, and then of course we kind of missed it in the middle there, but the Hordak Schnoz ship, as I've always called it, because it's always looked like a giant nose to me. So
oh no, that don't look like a nose. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't.
That one.
Yeah.
You get today going, oh, my 45-year-old mind is not thinking what he thought it was when he built that thing.
Yeah.
So when the lead Monstroid goes up and grabs it for you, Shawn, that's
all I could keep thinking is that's why Catra's making that noise. She's in there and it's rumbling on her, and that's why that.
All I know is if there was ever a figure or a vehicle that they were ever going to make into an adult toy, that would be.
I would have absolutely loved having that and flying it around my mom going, what the hell did I do? Where did I go wrong with this boy?
God. And I do want to point.
I love how he goes. It always made me think of it as a nose. I'm like, oh, you are so nice.
Yeah.
I did not see a nose the minute that thing came on the screen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's just something wrong with you.
There's always been. It's just it comes out harder when it comes to this special, apparently.
And the song is titled Christmas on Eternia, and it was written by Erica Scheimer, who did also write the Secret of the Sword theme song.
I'm sorry, Erica. I'm not a fan. I just, yeah.
All right. We got
too many things I hate all at once. I don't know what one to go after first.
God. We got a bunch of new guys here. Dusty, Matthew's here, everybody. Ooh. So let's go ahead. Let's give away another of our Secret Santa presents. These are just like they sound. I wrap up a gift. I send it to you. You don't know what you're getting. We had Joe and Clint and has it just been Joe and Clint? Or did we give away 3?
No, one more.
Yep. And somebody else.
Bodies.
I forget. So we're going to share a hashtag here, and you guys just go ahead and throw in the comments. We'll pick one of you as a winner, and we'll send you a
hashtag zipper. Zipper.
Zipper. How many Z's in that?
It's literally a flying vibrator, and then they have zipper. I mean,
he's a skateboard with a head, Shawn.
Zipper.
So hashtag zipper. Throw that down below. One of you will win a Secret Santa prize. We'll give it a little bit here, and then we'll draw. Zipper. How can you not love the Mansions?
I think Scott Baker was the second one.
Scott Baker. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing I'll say about the scene. This is mainly towards Shawn. How can watching Cowl and Orko dance together, floating in midair, not warm that dead soul of yours?
Well, considering I never liked either character as a kid, it didn't really do much for me on that
Look what
level.
I'm dealing with. This is why I had to bring Curtis on. Look at what I'm dealing with, guys.
Hey, I mean, the thing is, you two are bonding. I'm just kind of here, and that's okay. But you two are bonding over your love of this, and I get to be the one that I get and go.
You're playing the role of Jesse, where I just want to go. I just want to go, Shawn. Who hurt you that you can't enjoy Zipper and the Manchines?
they literally. I kept when I was watching this. I'm literally. It's like you guys just completely GoBots take over, and you forgot that GoBots didn't make it out of the other side after Transformers showed up. Like it
Those
just
were
felt
so much better than GoBots. I think we glossed over it too, but earlier when She-Ra first meets the Monstroids, that line still cracks me up, where Swiftwind's like, "The robots, they're transforming. What evil robots!" Like,
yeah. By the way, just. I gotta throw one more thing out now that you brought up Swiftwind, but Swiftwind so much better than Battlecat. Just throwing that out there. Like personal opinion, like I just I mean, why would you don't even see Battlecat get used in this episode because he can't fly. What good is that? Like, come on, Swiftwind's so much better.
Well, I will say,
Battlecat read the script that said I'm out and he walked away, and just like I would have too.
I love them both. I do wish Battlecat had been in here. But at the end of the day, with when this was produced, obviously, wherever they have the chance to, they're going to feature the She-Ra characters. I mean, even Tila's only got the one scene where they find the book, and I don't even think she might have like a line. So, yeah. But they both are, man. Just wait till Mondo releases their Swiftwind. I would have to get that. Next scene. Just when it appears they will be captured, He-Man, She-Ra, and Swiftwind appear, and with the help of the Manchines, defeat the giant evil robots because they transform. And anything that transforms is evil. By only Mattel. As the heroes celebrate their victory, Skeletor captures Alicia and Miguel and zooms away on his war sled. Hordak follows Skeletor and blasts him out of the sky, but not before Skeletor can prevent Hordak from giving chase. Determined not to stay in one place, Skeletor orders the children to walk through the snowy tundra. However, the children are cold and weak, and the Machine puppy relay cannot move through the thick snow. Skeletor, feeling a ting of compassion, gives the children's coats and carries Relay himself. The children tell Skeletor about Christmas, but he does not seem to understand the concept. Here's another point. I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, but where the animation really stepped up, and the fact that as soon as Skeletor shows up, his war sled has a longer back section, a seat section, the entire time. Again, if this was a regular episode, that would have only grown when he needed it. So that's another just little thing that after watching lots of Filmation that jumped out at me, where it's like, you know, they took the time to go, no, the children are get to ride on this too. So he got the family edition out of the shed.
The family edition.
So, you know, I'll just throw out, like, first off, the whole chase scene between Hordak and Skeletor. I just think it's interesting that Hordak's got this huge ship and Skeletor just has the little sky sled, and he fires this little tiny beam or whatever from the back of the sky sled, and that's enough to totally disable Hordak's ship.
Yeah,
like it's like, man, what kind of piece of shit thing are you driving that you got this huge ship and it can't even take one blast from a sky sled?
Actually, he uses Havoc's staff to take down the ship.
I thought it was a little gun out the back of the sky sled.
Unless I'm misremembering now.
I'm pretty sure. I'll watch it again, but I'm pretty sure there's a little gun out of the back of the sky sled.
Well, now I'll have to watch it again too. Yeah. So,
and Sean's got to watch it again too, just because we said
so.
But
no,
the you know, when the whole like Skeletor with the kids, this begins for me what this is all about. Like, you know, everything up until now, forget it. You could throw it all away. I like it, but you could throw all that away. Everything from this point on, from Skeletor and with Relay and the kids, is what this whole Christmas special is about, and it's why I have to watch this every year.
Yes,
it is. Not only do I appreciate it and do I have to watch it, I think it's the best Skeletor we get, not only in Filmation but in any version of media. I think this is the best Skeletor moments that we get ever. And I absolutely love it. So,
last call, real quick. Hashtag Zipper. Throw it down in there, and you can win one of our Secret Santa prizes. Hey, I completely agree. I mean, just in the pacing, like they take their time. Hey, Jesse, welcome. You know, they take their time setting it up. The children are cold. Well, too bad. We're going anyways.
Yep.
All right, fine. I'll give you jackets, but we're leaving the puppy.
And then Alicia like passes out.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. It's like he's just like, come on, like get over it.
Right.
She's like dead.
You know, and then the little relay thing, and he's like, oh, fine, let's go. If it just keeps moving, and then, well, I can carry him. No, I'll carry him. I'll carry him.
Yeah,
we'll go faster.
Yeah,
it's just those little things, and
he starts licking his face.
Yeah. Great anime. They really played up Skeletor's facial expressions.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, again, just they really stepped up the animation here. Favorite. I know it's just about everyone's favorite line, but and then we give each other presents, and then when you open them, they explode, right?
Yeah.
No, they're supposed to be nice.
It reminds me of when my kids were younger, they were very much into SpongeBob, and there's the one episode where SpongeBob is teaching Plankton about fun, and Plankton just doesn't get it. Like he totally is very much like that. He's like, and the U in fun is for uranium bomb. Like, no, no, it's not. It's very much like that. Like, yeah, presents explode. Like, that would be fun.
Right.
No, that's not it.
Dogs like bones. Really couldn't help it.
That's true.
All right. Before we get to Shawn, let's go ahead and give away Zipper here.
Zipper.
Good luck.
I really would. I would buy Masterverse or Origins. They put out a zipper. I'd buy it in a second.
Absolutely. Cowabunga Dude, congratulations. You have won. Go ahead and drop me your address either over on Facebook or logpod85@gmail.com, and we'll get your present on your way. And thank you. All right, Shawn. Best scene of the special. How'd you like it?
I would like to think that this is the beginning of Skeletor's journey in being a symbolic father figure like some people might have to become, but we're not expecting to be. Therefore, he's making the best of the bad situation, or a difficult situation, I guess. Not the Skeletor that I ever wanted to see, but I'm not going to lie. This part actually got me like, okay, I'm a little more invested after the goddamn Manchin bit in the damn song.
Because resizes that day.
at least it, like it, the thing is, this part at least felt more in character for me of who he is on Filmation compared to like it on a special like this. Some characters feel like they're just being written because of how the special is, I guess is the best way I can describe it. But no, that one, I guess it's like the father in me coming out watching it now because it's been a little while and all this and just seeing the kids, and it's like, okay, you know, like even if I was being one of the most evil, you know, the Warlord of Destruction, there would be a part of me that would look at it and go, maybe those kids don't deserve this kind of stuff right now. Or
yeah, maybe these kids don't deserve to be handed over to Horde Prime. So
yeah,
and I get what you're saying, because it's not like he just immediately warms up to the idea of Christmas and being nice or anything. Exactly. He is fighting it the whole time. Like
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes it that works for me on that level, because like the first thing that I thought of watching it was Evil Seed. And the fact that in Evil Seed, he was tooth and nail not wanting to help, but he knew he had to. And otherwise, you know, it's like, that's Eternia. That's where I keep my stuff. Now what? You know,
that's where I keep my stuff.
It's that whole thing. So it's the idea, like looking at this situation, he's not really into doing what Horde Prime wants to do anyway, because he's Skeletor. He doesn't want to be controlled by an outer source. He hates the idea of that. So even if they wrote it where he double-crossed them, instead of it being the Christmas spirit, either way, I kind of dig the fact that he did his own thing, and it screwed over Hordak and Horde Prime in that way.
Skeletor is nobody's B word.
Exactly. He should not be. It's like when they brought in the Horde when I was a kid, I just saw them as a separate faction. When Filmation started building them into what they built them into, I'm like, I don't like this concept. Like, I don't like the idea Skeletor has to answer to a higher power.
Yeah.
Be it Hordak or Horde Prime. Skeletor was supposed to be his own, you know, force of wickedness and force of havoc out there in the universe.
And I think for the most part, they did a good job of, even when he was supposed to answer to somebody, he kind of does his own thing. You know, like he's still looking out for himself, number one.
Yeah. So in that case, let's go on to the next scene and see how this all ends with Skeletor. He-Man and She-Ra arrive to save the children just as Hordak and an army of Horde troopers, available now at your local toy store from Mattel, appear on the scene. Hordak deflects one of Skeletor's blasts back at the Lord of Destruction, and the villain is knocked to the ground. Horde Prime arrives and prepares to take the children. A confused Skeletor, motivated by the spirit of Christmas, saves the children. He-Man and She-Ra throw Horde Prime ship back to Horde World, and a perplexed Skeletor is reassured by She-Ra that Christmas only comes once a year. This whole ending here with like everybody culminating, it's like, again, just the action bumped up, the wave upon wave of Horde troopers, where it's like, you know, He-Man. It really struck me on this watch through that like He-Man and She-Ra are really just reacting this whole time. Like they are always behind the 8 ball as this entire thing goes on. Since Orko goes up in the Sky Spy, they're like, you know, they just can't catch up. Like, oh, luckily there's no one in there. No, Orko was in there. Oh, we got him back, but now he's got some children, but now they're taken. Oh, we found them. We defeated the Monstroids, but now they are just going along. Like,
they're chasing their tail the whole time. Yeah.
This is Skeletor and Hordak special, and it culminates here where, like, you know, they're going to win. Hordak even says that. Like, yeah, like, we don't have to beat you, He-Man and She-Ra. We just have to wait for that ship with its freaky ass claw to. I don't know what the plan is with that claw there to get those children up there, but yeah, I mean, even as a kid, I'm like, you know, how are they going to do this? There's not enough time.
Yeah, I went kind of on a little bit of a spree there for a while and was collecting some Filmation cells.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I have that I really like is from this Christmas special.
Nice.
And it's the part where He-Man and She-Ra throw Hordak's ship. You know, so they're both kind of it and grabbing it and getting ready to fling it up.
Oh, that's a great scene.
So, you know, I really like that part of it because I have that cell, and it just, you know, it's important to me. But I like the ending on this because, you know, not only did you see Skeletor go through this transformation, but I like how towards the end, like with He-Man and She-Ra, like they don't beat him up. Like a lot of times I feel like throughout Filmation, like even when Skeletor does show any sort of humanity or whatever, you got He-Man like calling him bone breath or you know, throwing insult or little jabs at him and stuff. And, you know, for them to kind of like, you know, He-Man's like, oh, Skeletor saved you, and then She-Ra makes her and then She-Ra says, oh, don't worry, it only comes once a year, and they kind of laugh and stuff. Like it just felt very warm and inviting, like rather than him going, you know, okay, yeah, you did your part, now get the heck out of here. Like they didn't like brush him to the side. So I you know, but they also didn't, it wasn't like, hey, come back to Eternia and celebrate with us either. It was the right amount of, hey, we appreciate that you did something, you know, but I don't know, it just felt like a good ending to that whole part.
It was like the not today type thing. Like, all right, like you did some shit here, but we're cool for now.
Right.
We'll see you next week. Yep. Front of Grayskull, noon, perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good, buddy. Yeah. And I do like that they even kind of, I mean, obviously you're going, well, it's the spirit of Christmas, but like, even in the dialogue, like there's some leeway to that because like you guys said, Skeletor is his own person, you know, Matthew Dodder, Skeletor ain't no one's bee. Like, so, you know, and he sees the children being taken, and you can put whatever context you want in there, because even Skeletor's like, I don't know what's coming over me. Like, you know, is it Christmas? Is it just, you know, forget that Horde Prime. Like, these kids aren't the, I mean, Relay woke them up, so.
That's what it is.
The dialogue does a good job of leaving that open. Like, you can believe whatever you want to believe. At the end of the day, you know, was it Christmas? Was it the fact that Skeletor realized what we were talking about earlier? Like, these kids aren't this huge beacon of hope. Like, killing these kids isn't going to do anything. And, you know, I don't like you bossing me around anyway, so I'm going to stick it to you. But
and I never really felt like from watching it that Skeletor really ever wanted to deliver the kids. He just didn't want to get beat by Hordak. Like he didn't want Hordak winning could not happen. Like he was not going to let that happen. But whether the kids got delivered to Horde Prime or not, I don't really feel like he really even cared so much. So
Shawn, baby, how you doing over there?
No, I mean, there's a part of me that wishes at the end of it that he would have done something to disappear, or, you know, it's the whole, I don't like these feelings I'm feeling, and he like does a flash, like a flash spell or something, and then when everything dies down, he's gone. So then it almost has that, like, he left on his own terms rather than staying there and have to deal with the feelings and all that kind of stuff. Because, like, in my head, Skeletor would be somebody either running like hell from there, or like using a spell to get back to Snake Mountain as fast as he could so he could be back to his normal vibe or whatever. But yeah, it is kind of funny. Like I said, this one still reminds me a bit of Evil Seed in that way. Instead of it being Evil Seed, it's Horde Prime. And there is an element. I like it better sometimes, though. Like the Evil Seed episode was a little more interesting to me for the fact that they had to join forces to do this versus Skeletor made the decision on his own. But yeah, no, I'm good with this. There's no man-sheens at least. But yeah, I'm good with this.
All right. Back at the Royal Palace, the celebration is enjoyed by all. Prince Adam, in disguise as Santa Claus, don't tell anybody, gives Alicia and Miguel flying belts as a Christmas present before Man-at-Arm transports them back to their parents on Earth. They try telling their parents about their time on Eternia, and the parents blow them off until they go flying past them to bed. Everyone has a laugh, and Orko wishes everyone a Merry Christmas. Hi, Kitty.
My cat has decided I'm not allowed to be angry anymore, and she's here. Aren't I so cute? Why can't you pay attention to me and quit bad talking the machines? So anyway,
the ending of this is one of those where, and it's typical for shows or movies of this time period, where it's like, something wild and crazy happens to some kids and they're trying to explain it to their parents, and their parents are like, absolutely don't believe them, which kind of irks me as a kid. It irks me because it's like, man, you tell me to be honest with you. You tell me to tell you the truth. And when I do, then you don't listen or believe me. So the very end with them, flying by them, it's like there, that's what you get for not believing us, kind of thing. So I love that little part on the end there. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing with this special starts and ends with Skeletor. So, from the time that he gets the kids till the time that, everything else, it's nice and I like it and I do watch it every year, but that's really the meat and potatoes of that. So
so in the last month, I'm only listed. Yes. Thank you so much, Duchess. And like the amount of times that you hear about parents losing their minds because their kid is lost or something. And like, I'm watching this part and going like, this is bullshit. Like, if that was my kids, if I didn't know within an hour or two where my kids were, I'd lose my freaking minds. And these parents are so neglectful about this. It's like, how long have they been gone, I guess, is my first question. My second question is, hey, Mario got some. That's awesome because he's a family man now. Good for him. But no, like watching that part, I'm like, that is so in the Richard Donner Superman movie, they have that moment where Superman saves the cat in the tree. And then he gives it to the little girl, bye, Frisky, see you later, and all that stuff. And then the girl comes in, Mommy, a man saved Frisky from the tree. And then the next thing you hear is, I told you not to tell lies. Yeah. And she smacks her. And it's like, that's kind of how it was watching this to me. It's like, they're like, well, go to bed. Go screw it. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
I hate that part. That part gets me every time. I'm like, what the? Why did they put that in there?
This is still like the fallout of that era where it's the parents are just like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, you went to Eternia, fine, And it's like I love that they got the flying belts to at least fly past their parents. It's almost like, we're not going to give you the finger, but really we're giving you the finger while we fly by you because you weren't believing what we have to tell you.
God, I wanted one of those flying belts so bad.
Mario and his wife.
Yeah, what's her name? Daisy. The two of them finally got together, and yeah.
No, I you're right. I mean, this is definitely just the epilogue, the wrap up. It's but it does it so well too. At the same time, it's gets the kids back. They had their little fun. They've got their Hey, Skelly, welcome. And then, you know, we get Adam in the Santa Claus outfit. Why wasn't that the holiday figure?
Everybody thought that was going to be the holiday figure.
That's what it should have been.
That's exactly what we thought. And then we ended up with what we had.
With Relay. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Done. Take all my money.
Yeah.
With a removable beard too.
Either way, removable or just on there, that's fine.
I like the removable because they pull it off in the episode.
Yeah, she does. Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all, you knew it was me all the time, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, just like when you're He-Man, we know it's you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was definitely that little like wink and a nod and everything. I gotta say, I did bringing that up. I did love like the Adam Adora interaction throughout it.
Yeah,
and He-Man, She-Ra, you know, vice versa. But like, you know, that was something that, especially me growing up on just the VHS tapes, you know, I didn't get to see a lot of that. I think I had like one crossover episode and then Secret of the Sword. So it's a lot of fun seeing them, you know, get to know each other. And it's the closest really to continuity that Filmation had, whereas, you know, like this is the only time outside of Secret of the Sword that the whole royal family's together, and Adora getting to experience that. I mean, you know, I mean, that's all Shawn knows how I am about my She-Ra headcanon, but like there's a lot of stuff Filmation couldn't do, but if you just think about it a little bit, it is, you know, like there's a lot of story potential there. So we got quite a few again. Let's go ahead and give away our last Secret Santa prize here. If you're just tuning in, I'm going to give you a hashtag. If you drop in the comments and you get picked, you win a present from us that I'm going to send out to you. You won't know what it is till you get it.
I'd love a relay ornament, Skelly.
Oh, hell yeah. Hallmark, let's go. So our last hashtag for the evening is going to be Then They Explode. Hashtag Then They Explode. Don't forget to put the hashtag. It needs that in the comments.
And no spaces.
We kind of did the cart before the horse because we had dead bodies earlier. They should have been Then They Explode, and then we have the dead bodies.
Well, you can tell when a dead body's going to pop up, Shawn.
That's true. That's true.
All right. So a couple other interesting things to note that I forgot to mention. For this special, Filmation actually hired 2 child actors to play the voices of the children.
Oh, really?
This is the only time this happened. Usually, you know, Linda Gary or Erica Scheimer would do the children's voices. So we had Lana Beeson as the voice of Alicia, and we had R.D. Robb as the voice of Miguel. Now, what's funny is looking them up, R.D. Robb in particular is interesting. He's got a
Skelly Mondo. Huh? Skelly was asking if that's Mondo Relay. Yes, it is.
Yeah. The only relay they've made, unfortunately.
Yep.
But R.D. Robb was actually in A Christmas Story as Schwartz.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. So that is the voice of Miguel.
Beautiful. Did not know that.
Well, there you go. Serendipity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it all comes around.
It all.
And then the last thing is the coordinates on Man-at-Arms screen for Earth relate to Filmation's place of business during the time of this production. The first part was the street number. The second part was their telephone number. And then the last part was their telex number.
Cool. I did also like, you know, I mean, you guys know me. I'm a huge Zodak fan or anything Cosmic Enforcers.
Yep.
And the little part of him at the end, like in the group with everybody.
Yep.
I think it was only the third episode third, you know, instance of him being in one of the shows. So, you know, anytime that I got to see Zodak, I was happy. So
right. Well, this was I love Snout Spout, and this is the only time I saw him as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Like I never saw any of the She-Ra episodes that he was actually in. So him putting the star on the tree for me was like, oh yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
You have one job.
That's what I liked about Too Bad and Spikor, because it's like I really liked those characters. in toy format. And so seeing them in the collector was really cool.
Exactly.
And then when Skeletor just like ejects them and they're like floating down, holding on to each other.
Someone, I think Greg Tamizin, I probably butcher his last name, but I think Greg's actually got that whole cell of.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's shown it off before of all the evil warriors on the.
That's awesome
thing. And so Zodak Curtis was in 3 actual episodes and then the special here.
Gotcha.
And Curtis definitely knows the Golden Discs of Knowledge one because that's where his main love is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Golden Disc of Knowledge. Well, and we did our on Offworld, we did our little Christmas special last week, and I talked about my definition of Christmas movie, and we talked about like the redemption part of it, the redemption arc. That's why I like Golden Disc of Knowledge, like the whole Xanthor's redemption in that how he messed up and he did something bad and he's in the doghouse, but he works to get out of it and to change things around and make different choices in his life. So I think it's just kind of fitting to mention with this as well, because it does have that redemption part to it.
Absolutely. And Skelly does bring up Zodak's voice in Filmation. It was amazing. It was like if Neutral was a voice, like that is him.
Zodak was ASMR before ASMR was a thing.
Oh yeah,
and I think Bob Ross might have gone, "Hey, that guy's shtick's great. I'm going to use that."
All right, guys. So it is time for our ranking. So here at Legends of Grayskull, we've got a Power Sword Havoc Staff ranking. So 3 Power Swords is the very best, perfection. 2 Power Swords, very good, well above average. 1 Power Sword, good, enjoyable. Then we got the Cosmic Enforcer. That's neutral. That's right down the middle. Neither good, neither bad. Then we go down to the Havoc Staffs. 1 Havoc Staff, that is a bad episode. 2 Havoc Staffs is such a terrible episode. 3 Havoc Staffs, no one should ever watch this ever. So we're going to start back at the top corner and work our way around. Shawn, what is your Power Sword Havoc Staff rating?
I will go with a Cosmic Enforcer for this one because...
Hey, we got him up to a Cosmic Enforcer. I'm taking that as a win.
It's like the machines are only in it a little bit. They drive me crazy, but and I hate the song. I still hate the song. I'm sorry, but there is some good, like Too Bad being in it, for instance, and Spike, or like Curtis was saying, is really cool, and everybody being in the Royal Palace is pretty cool, and it's not a redemption arc with Skeletor, but just him being out of character and being fun in some ways. It's like, yes, not my Skeletor, but in this case, it works for me.
Okay. Real quick, just because he mentioned songs, one more tidbit I forgot to share. So the opening theme song, as the Sky Spy's flying around and everything, that is actually a mix of the He-Man theme, the She-Ra theme, and Jingle Bells is how they came up with that.
Interesting.
Curtis, Havoc Staff, Power Sword, where do you land?
Well, first of all, I think just getting the neutral to Shawn, like you said, is a big win.
Yep.
I think deep down tonight, he's going to be singing that song. He's going to be loving, caring, and all that.
Oh, I've got a speaker in his house. I'm going to play it through. I hacked his system.
You're going to hear some weird noises later on.
Yeah, I'm used to that from you.
I'm going to say 2 Power Swords. I feel like, like I said, the Monstroids didn't land for me. There's a few other things that I think could have been better. But for me, it's a must watch every year. And I feel like it's the best version or the best, I don't know, bit of Skeletor that we get in any form of media. So for me, it's 2 Power Swords.
Fair enough. We've got in the chat, we've got Manny's giving it a 1 sword, Wichita Richard's giving it a 2 sword, Skelly gives it all the Power Swords, Matthew gives it 2, and Scott gives it 2 as well. Real quick, one last call here. Hashtag then they explode if you want to win a Secret Santa gift. For me, it is a solid 2 sword as well. It's definitely not perfection. I do have some issues here and there, but overall, just the tone of it. It's a Christmas special, but they don't lean too hard any one way. Curtis, that's definitely something I picked up, especially trying to be as critical as possible in this latest rewatch for the show. I really like how they handled that, where they give you little bits and pieces. Everything's valid for Christmas, because that's something Filmation did. They thought about their viewing audience. They thought about how television impacts people. And overall, it is, it's full of action, especially in the 80s. Like this is action packed for a He-Man show. They took extra care with the animation. So yeah, it's definitely well above average. 2 power swords all the way. And I will say, because of how they've done the rest of the series, this is the only era that a Christmas special works in. Because you have Marlena, you've already had Visitors from Earth. That episode has happened where He-Man's gone to Earth. Like, you've got that. Without Marlena being from Earth, I don't think a Christmas special in He-Man works. Like then you're going too foreign. Whereas, like, you didn't have to go into a lot because you've already got Marlena there. Even if the Eternians didn't celebrate Christmas, like, there's that connection where you can just jump in and just have these cutaway scenes where it's just like, yeah, here's Christmas, blah, 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 but it's not, it's not world changing.
Yeah. Well, I would say just to kind of tag on with our rankings there too. Like, I mean, obviously we were all, very big He-Man fans growing up. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on this podcast talking about it.
Yes.
But there were a lot of other properties that we watched as well. And there were a lot of Christmas specials. I mean, pretty much everything did a Christmas special at some point.
Yep.
This is the only one that I watch. Like, I've got a lot of Christmas movies that I watch. But this is the only Christmas special from any, not even cartoons, but any TV show that I watch every single year. So, it is of, like you said, it's not only 2 power swords, it is a solid 2. Like, this isn't like it squeaked in that second one. It's very solid 2. And I have very minor gripes that keep it from a 3. So,
all right, let's explode here. Good luck to all our winners we've already had. Let's see who takes us home here. This does need a sound effect. Manny Gonzalez, congratulations. You're wrapping us up here. Thanks, buddy. He's been here from the beginning. So appreciate you.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
And Manny just jumped in and he said Brave Star even has a Christmas episode. So yeah, I agree. This is the only one that I've got to watch every year. They're definitely some ones I've gone back and checked out, but they're not regular viewing. So now, Curtis almost jumped to this beforehand, but Shawn, you took the hiatus. You were forced to watch it for council. You took the hiatus after that. We forced you today. Do you see yourself either this Christmas, next Christmas? When do you think the timetable is that you would willingly revisit this?
If I gotta watch it again for some reason. Honestly, it's not on the
that's fine. I mean, it's
the
wrong, but it's fine.
Well, no, Christmas special wise, the one that I think of the most from my childhood is actually the Garfield Christmas special. That one was like, I don't know why, because Garfield was like a seasonal Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. There was usually and the Peanuts
Christmas one.
What?
I don't remember the Garfield Christmas one.
So they go back to John's parents' house in the country, and that's the one where like the grandma's there and she's kind of sad at Christmas, and then Garfield finds the old letters that the grandpa wrote her back when they were courting, as they say, and she gets to relive some of that by reading them again, and it fills her up with the Christmas spirit and all that. And Garfield gets filled up with the Christmas turkey, that kind of stuff. That for me was like, it hit on levels that I always wanted to go back to it each year. But like for me, it was you mix He-Man and Christmas. The only He-Man and Christmas that I had when I was a kid that it was justified was I got Castle Grayskull, the Fright Zone, and Spydor. After that, I'm like, I don't need a Christmas special. I know He-Man to toys at Christmas. That's what worked for me. It like even as a kid, I was like, it's a bridge too far. I don't know about this one. Like, no, it felt more like they were trying to just inject it instead of it feeling like a natural progression for me. And I think that's why it just doesn't resonate for me as a thing to watch every year for some reason.
No.
Yeah, well, if I grew up on a farm, Eternia would be better too, Joe. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. It was I don't know. It was too fantastical of the concept to have Christmas in it for me versus, okay, if you're having Garfield go to go to the country and he's at a farmhouse and they're celebrating Christmas, that to me was like, that makes sense. I don't know. It was the way my mind worked.
I will say I am glad the way they did. Grant, if like they had never made a Christmas special, I would not be sitting here today going, why didn't they? Like it's not something I would come up with on my own, but it is something that I've enjoyed that they did. And I am glad that they didn't actually have Santa appear like most Christmas specials and episodes do, I really feel that they kept this as grounded as they could with, Eternia and Christmas. Oh,
there's me with my Castle Grayskull that
there
was supposed to be my brother's.
Oh, look at that shit-eating grin.
That look is Win right there. If you want to know what Win looks like, that's the look right there.
Yep. There you go.
That motherfucker.
I figured I'd throw that up real quick. So
nice.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, boys. 10 days till Christmas.
Yes,
We're almost there.
It's coming upon us.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for everybody who tuned in tonight. Congrats to all our winners. Again, reach out to me on Facebook. You can find me under Matthew Dooch. I don't hide. Or if you're not on the Facebook, logpod85@gmail.com. Give me all your deets, and we will hook you up with our secret present. So, Curtis, you guys got something coming up this weekend?
We do. We've got Shooting the Shelf on Sunday. We've got Van Johnson on, and we are celebrating our 500 subscriber giveaway. So
nice.
We have just a ton of prizes that we're giving away. So, I think pretty much they're almost all Legions based. So if you're, whether it's Mythic, Cosmic Legion, if you're a Legions fan, probably want to check out that show. It's on the Just Shelve It channel, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be, like I said, a lot of prizes. So
do I have to be present to win, or
you do? That's the only thing that you have to be there. So there's nothing else that you have to do other than be in attendance. So.
And I will say there's definitely a lot of Mythic stuff, but I did see some custom stuff too. I know Alex Deshaw, he threw a fountain in there.
Yep.
So like there's definitely, I think there was a chariot I saw today, or
Brian Almeida put in a chariot. We've got some of the torches from Carver Customs. I think Anthony House Seal did a custom head. And we've got some full figures. We got some figure sets. There's a ton of stuff. So, I mean, initially we were going to try to give a prize away every 20 minutes, but then I think we got like double the prizes that we were expecting. So it's probably going to be like every 10 to 15 minutes, it's going to be a prize. So
I love it.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of subscribers, make sure you guys click the subscribe button over here or over there. Where is it? It's somewhere down there. Like the feed too. We appreciate it. We're still chasing 1,000. Let's get us.
Yeah, and if you really enjoyed me being on this episode, make sure you leave a review on wherever your pods are cast. I know that there's been at least one person left a review saying that they really enjoyed me on here.
Yeah, I wonder who that was.
And so let your opinions be known.
And make sure you check out Offworld as well, where you can see me, Jesse, Curtis, and Shawn. We're chasing the 500. I think we're around 250 right now. So we appreciate all your guys' support.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn, got anything? You cold-hearted Skeletor?
I'm geared up to have the holiday hit because I have been working a lot and I would love to have a couple days off. And I'm really excited for my kids because I know what they're getting.
Oh, I would hope
Very
so.
nice.
And that's just one of those, like, I can't wait to see their faces. This is genuinely one of the first Christmases where I am like, I can't wait to see their faces on Christmas morning when they unwrap it. So,
do you guys?
Cool.
I know we're dragging out here. Stick with us, guys, if you want, or take off. Do you guys still ask for anything? Like, I've transitioned to a point in my life where I'm like, if I want something, I'm just gonna go get it, and I would rather focus everything on the kids, and we host now that we're in our own house and everything. We've been hosting. We take Christmas, or my sister-in-law takes Thanksgiving. So, like, I'd rather put all that effort into there, and I really don't like getting presents anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ask for anything, and it just, I don't know. I'm like, I'm good. Like, take it to the kids, keep the magic with them. Are you guys the same way, or is that just a me thing?
I mean, for me personally, I want to say it was 2 years ago. My wife completely surprised the hell out of me by she got me a new iPhone and the iPad.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was one where I almost started tearing up because I don't ask for stuff. And I hinted that it would be really cool to get an iPad because I was really hoping to work with it to do art. And at that point, she would always just kind of give me the laugh, like, yeah, that'll happen this year. We got other stuff to deal with.
Right.
And so it was like really amazing to get something that I really wanted for the first time in, quite a while. Because typically I'm the same way where it's like, just do stuff for the kids. Don't worry about me. This year, though, is the first year where I actually got something for everybody I am close to in my family. So, because some years I let my wife handle some of that, and then I'm in on it on Christmas morning. But this is the first where I really tried to do something for everybody, like my mom, Heather, and the kids. So
nice.
So I'm really excited to see what Christmas morning will be like, especially even for my mom, because she is not going to expect what she's getting from me.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that plays out.
For me, I'm definitely a better gift giver than I am a gift getter. Like, I'm very hard to shop for. I'm kind of like what you said, that like if I want stuff throughout the year, I just get it myself. And typically when I do get gifts from, whether it's my kids, my wife, whatever, I have to kind of like fake interest in it because I really don't have any. So I would.
Doesn't your wife sit like right over there as you record?
Yeah, she's asleep right now though. She's asleep on the couch. But I mean, normally it's just not good. Like I'm very, like I said, I'm just very hard to shop for, and I hate faking like I like something. So I would rather get nothing than get something that I don't want or need. And
I hate having to be like really like, well, I like this figure, but you can only get it from this site, and that if I'm gonna go to all that, like.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go do it. Like,
now I say all that to tell you that last year I got the best gift I've ever gotten in my whole life from my wife, And so I asked her to get it again for me this year, and probably it's going to be my ask every year going forward.
Wait, now this is Legends of Grayskull. This is an off-world.
Yeah,
So
it's fine.
Okay.
So, like the highlight for my year last year and this year, like is really going to Legion's Con and spending time with my friends and doing all that kind of stuff. And last year she made me this little book that she did on Fluttershy or Shutterfly. Yep. And it's got like all of these, just pictures inside from the convention and stuff in it. That helps me just kind of remember the convention and all that. And so it's just, just all this stuff, all my friends and everything. There's Jesse over here.
Yep.
So, so I asked that again this year because I just absolutely love that. It's a nice little thing to just kind of look back on and remember the good times at the convention. So that is one that I will, like I said, probably be asking for every single year. But other than that, yeah, it's like, my kids, my wife, they don't know what figures I have, what I need. They don't know what, like, even if, I heard some people I was talking to this week said that they, asked for like paintbrushes or paint pots, for customizing and stuff. It's like, they don't know. They don't have any idea. And if I just gave them a list and said, buy these things, like, I don't know, it's just weird. And I don't like the whole gift card thing. Like it's, just, I'll buy my own stuff. So yeah.
All right, guys.
Memories. That's what it's all about. So
that's it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas.
Wait.
We're not there yet.
You didn't talk about yours, or was that it? Like you just don't do it at all, as far as ask for any gifts or one?
Right. Yeah, I started off. Okay. I don't. Actually, me and my wife, since we've been married, we've never exchanged Christmas gifts.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we've always just been, I mean, ever since we were together, like she's had the nieces and nephews were younger. And we started having kids and everything, and it's always been just like same thing. Like if we want something, we're just gonna go get it. Like what is this? I think the first year that we were together, like we bought her mom something and her dad something and her sister something, and then it was, it's like by the second year, and my family really doesn't do that anyways. Like my family is very much once you're over 18. Like you might get a card, you might get $10 from grandma, but like that, you know what I mean? Like it's not anything big. Yeah. And so like, and basically that's what we all realize. We're literally just sitting here trading shopping lists. Like,
yeah, I got it. Yeah, that makes sense. I will tell you, when it comes to the cards, I can't stand cards. Like they're the bane of my existence. I
brought this up before.
It's one of those where it's like you're giving me a job now, because now I've got to figure out what the appropriate time is before I can throw this away without it looking like a jerk. Like just please, if people out there, if you like me, if you don't like me, whatever, please don't ever send me a card. I don't want a card from you. I don't want a card from anybody. Keep your cards. Hallmark has enough money. They don't need your money buying me a card that I'm just going to throw away. So there you go.
All right, guys. We love you all. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. We love you all. Congratulations to everybody who won. Thank you, everybody who tuned in, everybody who's going to listen on the replay or the audio version. We appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, just remember, Christmas only comes once a year.
Oh, come on.